Good evening, everyone. Not sure what's happening there with the intro, so we thought we'd just cut straight to it. Blues Down Under, back again this week. I'm your host, Pat, and Macca's back in the building with us. Good to see you again, mate. I hope you had a nice weekend away.
Good evening, Patrick. Certainly did. Just a shame to have missed a fantastic performance by our blue-shirted heroes, eh?
Yeah, that's true, mate. Yeah, you were missed on Saturday, but we had a good evening nonetheless in these neck of the woods anyway. Big up to everybody who's in the chat or getting involved or getting part of the show. Obviously, we did set this up a bit last minute. And just for the record, that is all Martin's fault. So he will come and explain himself a bit later on. But until then, we're happy to be here. Happy to see you all. Everything's good, and I'm sure everybody's still buzzing after the result on Saturday. But just first things first, mate. Overall, just like feeling good about everything. I'm sure, you're still riding a crest of, positivity or feeling top of the world after a cup final. But then, the impatience of waiting 2 weeks for an international break was quickly forgotten. Basically as soon as Haaland buried that first penalty, mate. But overall, God, I'm buzzing after the weekend, I got to say.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like it was fantastic to get that victory at Wembley, obviously, and then international breaks always dull. It comes at the wrong time. But I actually think for us, I was getting a bit jumpy and a bit moody, and so I was actually quite glad of the break, and I think it possibly did the players a bit of good as well. So coming into the Liverpool game, I was less than confident. I thought we'd probably still edge it, but I just get nervous on these big games. The old typical City kicks in for me at the start of all these games. So until we can relax, and so really it was only on the cusp of half time for me that I thought, you know what, we're going to do this. And that second goal was an absolute killer for them. First 15, 20 minutes or so, it was probably fairly even, and Liverpool, I think they probably edged it. But because Salah's not on fire anymore, we've been able to take advantage. And after that, mate, honestly, what a performance.
Do you feel like you're drawing deja vu, a bit of parallels to the cup final in the way that Arsenal probably were the stronger team? Obviously scored our first goal a bit earlier than what we did in the cup final. But I drew some parallels thinking Liverpool were slightly edging it just a little bit. I think they probably had the better chances up until the penalty. But look, again, like, you say you get a bit nervous when you face Liverpool. It was like, this was the first time I went into a game with some absolute proper confidence against them.
Yeah.
Probably since the start of the Centurion season, if I'm honest. And even then, it was, typical City because it was that early in the season. We thought there'd be some inconsistencies. But, that's the most confident I've gone into a Liverpool game in a very, very, very long time, I must say.
And I'll tell you what, the beauty of it was, and I think it was probably halfway through the second half, maybe a little bit earlier, when they're just passing, and the whole stadium starts giving it ole, ole, ole. And it was just beautiful. You don't do that against Liverpool. No matter how poor this current team is, you just don't do it. And I was there when we did a similar thing to them. We won 4-1, so it's only a couple of years ago. But I think Salah got the first goal. We might have gone in at 1-0 down. And then De Bruyne came straight back in. And
the treble season. Yeah.
Was it the treble season?
Yeah.
And we absolutely smashed them with 4-1. And again, I just stood in that stadium listening to the whole crowd giving it ole, ole, ole. And I just thought, this is amazing. That was one of my highlights of that treble season. I mean, I know there's a few, but that was just hilarious. And so back to it, the crowd I thought were really good. And you'll never walk alone unless you're about 3-0 down to City. And I think it was after 60 minutes they started to stream out. It was hilarious. Hilarious.
Yeah. I'll quickly go through the lineup as well. So it was Trafford in goal, Mateus Nunes, Kuzanov, Gahey, and Nico O'Reilly made up our back four. Midfield of Rodri, Bernardo Silva, attack of Antoine Semenyo, Ryan Cherky, Jeremy Doku, and Erling Braut Haaland up front in the number 9 role. Looking at that lineup, draw some parallels to the cup final. Of course, obviously Mark Gahey being the probably the odd one out there.
Yeah.
But do you, and I've said this before in a few other shows, and I want to get Martin's thoughts and hopefully Elliot when he gets on as well, if he does get on, is do you think we're now at a point, and it's funny because usually we'd be talking about this in about February, and here we are in the best part of, a week into April of the season. Is this just about the lockdown 11 for this final push in terms of trying to win as many trophies that we have on offer to us this season?
Do you know what? You would hope so, because pick your best team, pick your team in form. But as we know, with our glorious leader, he's a genius, but he likes to tinker. So I think I've seen a quote somewhere today that it doesn't matter what team turns up on the next few Saturdays or the next few Wednesdays, someone's going to say, why is he picking that player, or what's he doing? It'll be interesting to see. But for me, the most underrated player this season, and not by the City fans, is obviously Kuzanov. And he had a blinder again, couple of little errors that he rectified. But they're all talking about Mo Salah's off form, but it was Kuzanov's recovery and challenge that stopped him scoring.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, mate. And it's still frustrating for me how, still get pundits and media outlets still want to bring up, that debut against Chelsea from last season.
Absolutely.
It's completely uncalled for. And the kid is, I think what he's doing is remarkable. I mean, I've always said to myself when a new player comes in, and this is, this may apply to other clubs as well, never mind City under Pep and all that sort of stuff as well. It's just, that's a huge step up to go from, with all due respect, playing in Liga in France, in Lens.
Yeah.
Probably still, getting familiar with playing in quote unquote mainstream European football, to then suddenly make that step up, and in the space of just over 12 months, suddenly kicking doors down, saying, "Hey, I should be considered in the first. I should be considered in the lineup sheet every week in, week out, starting every week, and things like that." And he's putting. I'm not saying he's putting to shame like your Ruben Diaz's and things like that, but he's certainly going to create good problems for Pep and that going forward. And I'm so glad that we jumped the queue and got him when we did, because I couldn't imagine how much of a fight it would have been last summer to try to get his signature.
You see how much the players respect him as well, for a young kid as well. When at the end of the game with the trophy, they're telling him, this is how you go and celebrate, and they're getting him to go and celebrate with the crowd and the trophy, and I think that was the first time we're seeing a proper smile out of him as well.
Yeah, so and he's embracing English culture. Obviously, learning language is one thing, but he's learning about life in the UK and what it takes to play at the top of English football as well. So
big, mate, and it's
big thing. And I've got to say, like I'm saying in advance too, it's there's going to be a lot of water under the bridge between now and say 9 months from now. But you're going to have the Asia Cup coming up in 2027, and hopefully we're not in a position like we were, because usually Asia Cup is around about January, February every year. If we go back to January, February this year, we had to get Max Lane back from Watford just to cover the defense, cover the lack of defense. So I hope we're not in a similar position when he has to go as well, because he could be missed. So hopefully it's not going to be nothing too major.
Yeah, I mean he's coming good at such a good time, and you're right, sticking him alongside Gahey there. You've got a lot of confidence in that defence, and I've said it all season. You don't win titles without a good defence, and we've struggled a bit. We've struggled against pace up and over the top. But having said that, Liverpool were really ordinary, really ordinary. That's one of the worst Liverpool performances, Liverpool teams I've seen against us for a long time. And I grew up on us getting smashed by Liverpool every single time we played them, bar just a couple of highlight reels. But they were so poor. It was long throw, it was long ball. We were all over him. It was brilliant. Oh mate, I tell you, I just loved
if
it.
my memory serves me correctly, I think we did play last time. One of the last times I can remember maybe playing them in a quarter final. When the foot was very much on the other shoe was, and I don't know if you might have been there, mate. I think it was about 87, 88 or something.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I think they absolutely hammered us like 4-0 or something.
4-0 to them. We had great
and
expectations
I
at
think
that
that was
point.
that the year the crazy gang won the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think it probably was actually.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Wimbledon won it. Yeah,
we went in with great expectations that day, based not on facts, and we had a good little side there, but they were different gravy. Yeah, I remember it well because there was one stand. Yeah, we call the stand between the Kippax and the North the Gene Kelly stand because it's singing in the rain. But there was actually a singing in the rain one just before that, which was between the North stand and the main stand because there was a gap between the roofs because of Swales is planning, and you used to get soaked, and that's the ticket I had for that game. So it was a rotten day, and I'm pretty sure it rained and we got soaked. But you were watching a really class Liverpool team like that. So, yeah. That's a
BM
good
remembers
point.
the last FA Cup game they played at Main Road.
Oh, yeah.
Were
FA
you
Cup in
were
the...
you at that one, Maka? Or oh no,
Which,
you were. No, this
is
was
it
like
the
last
FA
season
Cup
of
in
Main
the...
Road. You were.
Oh,
Did you ever go back at all for the last season of Main Road?
yeah, I was back for a good few months during that season.
Yeah,
I don't really have a lot of memories of it though. I think I have better memories of when they did the Kippax last stand than the last season at Main Road. I had really mixed feelings. I think I had a young kid at the time as well, so
yeah.
I was lacking sleep and it wasn't the best watch. I was really sad to leave Main Road because obviously going to school across the road from there and really mixed feelings. But having said that, when we got into the Etihad, I remember the first game we went to and we're like, what, we've swapped this for Main Road. How good is this? Who's done this deal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because my memories of watching the first season at the City of Manchester Stadium was I felt like okay, sometimes you can't replicate what you had for generation that transcends generations. But what I used to hear on TV when you used to listen to some of the crowds there, like from Derby days to one that stands out for me was that match against Newcastle late in the season to stay up. And the sound to me sounded exactly the same as when I first started watching City when you're playing at Main Road in those final years, basically.
I think it
It
was
felt
like,
like you took everything, you took the atmosphere straight down the street and settled right in. Yeah.
yeah, it was a strange one because, you can't replicate it, particularly when you've been going since you're a kid to the same spot, standing in the same place, seeing the same faces. And it was one of those where you go, everyone's finding their feet that first season. Where shall I go for a drink? Different meeting places. We were so used to meeting in the same pubs prior to the games, and then it's getting a different route to a different journey to the stadium and stuff like that. So yeah, the only really good side is my mates had really fantastic seats, just in front of the exec boxes there at City of Manchester Stadium, wasn't it? As it was. And
would that be in terms of the Etihad equivalent? Would that be like to those front seats that sit sort of either side of like Tunnel Club and where the media
yeah,
are
I think they're
basically?
just a little bit higher up. So it's like it's though you were halfway up the Kippax, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
But again, I don't know. That's one of the seasons where that last at Main Road and the first at Etihad, I don't really have brilliant memories of that. It's weird. I'll have to look back on the fixture list.
yeah.
It's a good point that BM's got there about the last game we played there, though, was a loss to Southampton. I was hoping that wasn't a.
I think it was a 1-0 loss, but the last goal was the week before the last City goal was actually by the late great Murphy Vinfoy.
Well, I think it's interesting. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah,
it's interesting though. Like the last game at Main Road, we lose. The last stand of the Kippax. I think we were playing Chelsea, and Glenn Hoddle apparently said to their team, "We'll have these today because it'll be too big an occasion." And I have a feeling we were 2-0 up, but we ended up doing 2-2. So yeah, it's funny how those big occasions get to you in those days, anyway.
yeah. Just quickly go to the goals. Obviously, before the pen, there's a very good shout for Ryan Cherky getting one as well.
Yeah.
I've got to say that the first one I was a little bit skeptical, like, oh, is it going to be one of those days? But if Michael Oliver wasn't smart enough to get it right the first time, he certainly got it right the second time. So definitely, I mean, both of them definitely pens for you, mate. Like, I couldn't really see any way to justify otherwise. Yeah.
I was convinced that first one was nailed on.
Yeah, I think it was Kirk. He's absolutely clattered into
like
it's a proper clash of knees, clash of legs. Yeah,
and you're right.
Stonewall pen.
It does make you wonder. I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist in the world, but it's nearly every game these days where we're not getting something, and that could have been a game changer, that one. And the classic was with the Van Dijk penalty. Van Dijk is going black and blue that it's never a penalty. And you watched it in real time, you knew it was, as he turned him. And then you watched it back on replay. It was clearly clear. Oh, yeah, just one, mate. Oh, sorry, mate. I'm just getting a call. One sec. I'll be back.
No, you're all right, mate. All good. Okay. Just mute that there. Yeah, big up to everyone. Oh, you good, mate?
Getting told off.
You're not letting them know your schedule, mate. That's the problem. Yeah. But yeah, look, I wanted to get I just want to quickly get through, obviously good penalty taken. It looks like, Haaland's got his mojo back, which we'll get into for the second and third goals. His second and third, of course, but I really wanted to get onto the second goal because this one has been the pick of the bunch for me. And the reason why I say this is because I know we'd said, even leading up to when we signed Haaland, they said one thing he's got to work on is his aerial game, his heading game, basically. And previous season, I think you would have seen Haaland bury a chance like that. But do you know what it kind of reminded me of? And it's something that I've been waiting for Haaland to do for quite a while. And it's having a quality finish, particularly with the head, similar to, because when I looked at that goal, I remember turning to everybody in the pub and I said, that screams of an Aguero type finish to me.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, getting ahead of your marker, basically being able to glance the ball away almost on a 90-degree angle to where your body is actually moving toward the goal, completely leaving the goalkeeper all at sea, and then just burying it there in the corner, just in the corner of the net. It just screamed an Aguero finish to me. Like if somebody had used AI to superimpose Aguero on there, I would have assumed that was real life, because it was just screamed the sort of goal that Aguero used to score there. And I would, as much as I love seeing Haaland bury goals the way that he does it and the frequency in which he does it, I think if the more and more he brings a little bit of that Aguero into his game, the versatility and things like that, I think he's just got to, he's a few C's away from me from being as good as Aguero if he brings that more into his game. If we see a few more pops from 30 yards out or, outside the 18-yard box and things like that, I want to see a bit more of that, a bit more finesse with the aerial game and things like that. And that's big for me going forward, seeing players like that. That can mean a lot going forward.
Absolutely, mate. And as we know, strikers are confidence players, and he goes into that second half on the back of two, and he wants the hat trick, and he gets it. I think that the Cherky blind pass as well, leading to the cross, was just beautiful.
The Semenyo cross, yeah. And the timing of that goal too, given the fact it was basically the last kick of the half too, I think that was an absolute dagger in Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
I just couldn't see him coming back from that, yeah.
Slot's face was a classic one, and keep your chin up. Yeah, don't worry about that, mate. Unlucky. So it was a good evening, that one, mate. Good evening.
Yeah. Who is X-Men City player with the shortest name? Well, I think M113FF actually kind of did it by misspelling Joe Roll's name, but yeah, I think it's Joe.
Oh, Joe, yeah, of course it is.
Could be Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never actually bothered to actually find out what Joe's full name actually is, so I think he'll always be known as Joe. So
yeah.
Ash is in the building. Big up, mate.
Joe was a bit different to Haaland.
Yeah. So after 2-0 at half time, you're feeling good, mate. We were absolutely proper buzzing at the pub. I even said to the guys, I said, don't put it past them, actually being able to bag another one in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, and I was right. But yeah, I felt so good about that, because again, it was like going back to the way we sort of started the game where Liverpool did have the ascendancy, but I did feel like we were so defensively sound leading up to that goal that I think the confidence grew for me, the fact that we just looked so defensively sound, and Any sort of minor mistakes that we made, we rectified them straight away. You look at the way Kuzanov recovered after letting the ball go over the top of him for Salah and things like that. And let's be honest, though, I think a Salah from about 3 or 4 years ago probably would have buried that chance. But it's people, as City fans, we mock Mo Salah and things like that occasionally because obviously he plays for our biggest rival for the last 5-10 years. But you got to give credit. The guy's been a hell of a player for Liverpool and that. And it's always sad to see the best players start to fall away like that too. But unfortunately, that's the tough side of football. We've got to be honest, mate. We haven't seen Kevin De Bruyne play probably incredible football for about 2 or 3 years, and sooner or later he has to go.
Yeah, and I felt the same way. You take a lot of fun out of the fact that he's played so badly in a game that's so key for us. And a lot of my mates who are Liverpool fans have been saying he's been like that for months and months and months. But it is sad to see a decline of such a great player, and he's been a real thorn in our side for a long time. So, best of luck. See you later, mate. That'll do for me.
His last game with the Etihad, not exactly the way he probably wanted to go out, but
and to miss the penalty as well, mate. That just was the cream on the cake for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was the crescendo of all my confidence, basically saying like, oh, no one our luck will probably even save this, but. I'll go to the third goal. Obviously, some fantastic build-up play there, and Cherki. Well, I think it was Cherki that put the pass through to Semenyo, wasn't it? I mean, an exquisite touch and exquisite finish. Like
beautiful.
Looking forward, and it's like you see the quality of what Semenyo actually offers in terms of everything from being the way he plays with width and being expansive and playing out in the right hand side, can play on the wings, can cut in when he needs to, can also effectively work centrally if trying to play a last ball through as we saw for that goal.
Yeah.
But do you get a sense that maybe it's going to make it more difficult for Mamouche to get into this squad on a regular basis? Well, knowing the fact that you've got Semenyo who can do that, whether it's left, right, and can contribute in when you're looking for an extra outlet to play centrally sometimes.
And he's not starting, so when he comes on, he's got to make an impact. And he's done okay when he's come on, but he's not been he's not been setting the world alight because he's not been getting the game time. I just love it when he starts Semenyo and Doku on either side. And I've been for weeks and weeks thinking, just take the player on, get down to that byline and cross the ball. We've got a big centre forward in the middle there. And it seems like they're finally doing it. I mean, Doku, for all the facts he's been playing very well this season, he still frustrates me in terms of he's obviously skilled in the do not lose that ball. So if he's not sure, he'll pass it backwards. And I've seen many times where even when he's got 2 players on him, he can take them on and get to that byline and put the cross in. And he's just, again, he's a young player, he's learning. But it's exciting times. I mean, playing with 2 wingers is exciting anyway, but we've got some good times ahead. I mean, we've got, is it 8 games left in the league and potentially 2 in the FA Cup if we can get past Southampton? That's 10 cup finals, isn't it? It's just going to be amazing, mate, amazing.
And if we need to, we know that we can lock it down and play it in an effective style that can be like 10 cup finals. We've done it before. I don't think our squad is as strong as it has been in previous years, but if there is something that the team have to play for, and they've already got the momentum from winning some silverware this season already, you got to feel a little bit. I certainly feel a lot more confident for this run in for the end of the season than I did say, thinking that the season was basically going to start when we went away to Real Madrid, and how wrong I was, because I just don't think there's a lot of this squad that are quite ready to play every 3 days yet. I think that's something that they'll need to build up over, and they may not even be ready next season for it. But I think right now, this is a sort of squad that it will get jobs done every 7 days. And then if they have to play those games in hand, the league catch-up games, obviously, because we're going deep in a cup, I think there's enough in there for them to actually get some sort of a winning streak, or at least be confident to know that they can continue putting pressure on us, or they can continue to, answer them if they do happen to play before us or get 3 points before we play or anything like that. So I think it's, I know we're probably thinking about it's as much as Arsenal's to lose as it is for us to win. But I think there is a good chance for us to actually win it if we just go about what we do, and that's play consistent and start winning and get a good string of wins together. What you're doing is you're not just putting the ball in the court. You're basically saying, to Arsenal, you're basically saying, are you able to change the character of what your club has been doing for the last 3 or 4 years? And that is probably the biggest question you have to ask them. And whether they can answer or not, that's a huge question for them, because I don't know. I really don't know. I think there's just going to be way more questions than answers when it comes to Arsenal, which is so bizarre, because I think personally there should have been more questions and answers for us, basically, because I think we've been way more consistent. Yet here we are, a very, very good opportunity of knocking on the door and possibly doing a snatch and grab on that league title.
It's amazing to think we're in this position, honestly. Amazing. And
I don't think we have any right to, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
And you think about the fact that, you know, neither team, City or Arsenal, can afford to drop any points now, and it's whoever blinks first. You know, would you take us to win 8 on the bounce? Possibly, yeah, I'd say. Would you take Arsenal to win 8 on the bounce 1-0? Probably.
Absolutely.
9 points is a big gap. 9 points plus goal difference, but it's not impossible. It's never impossible, is it? But it's a big ask. But hey, mate, can you imagine the scenes if we go into that final game and we're still in with a chance of it? And they've got Palace away, we've got Villa at home. Gee whiz, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it might be something there, but I don't know. I mean, like, I think this weekend could be big as well too. Like, you know, Chelsea away is obviously going to be a challenge regardless of what form either team is bringing in. But, you know, Arsenal have always had headaches against Bournemouth, you know.
Yeah,
and
true enough.
That'll really throw a cat amongst the pigeons if they don't get 3 points against them. I wouldn't even, you know, there may even be question marks even if they don't win convincingly. If it's somehow, you know, sneaking a 2-1 victory based, you know, off a corner and an own goal, like, which is what they're known for. There's still going to be question marks asked of them. So it remains to be seen. But you know, I said it's like I'm disappointed I'm out of the Champions League, but I kind of like the idea that I just don't know if this squad is an every 3-day squad. I think every 7 days. I think they just learned a little bit more, and then they understand how they can take that step up in coming seasons about trying to, you know, battle for another treble or, you know, try and go for some sort of like league and European Cup double, basically. But,
exactly that, mate. I mean, it was interesting because we had I was listening to 606 on podcast today, and there's a City fan on there saying we're back. You know, it's brilliant to see. And Chris Sutton just jumps back with, "Oh yeah, but you got smashed by Real Madrid. You got absolutely hammered by Real Madrid." And I was thinking, you know what? I don't care one bit about that, mate. We're looking at the next few games, not the ones that we lost in Europe. It is what it is.
Yeah. Good evening, Martin. Well, good day to you.
1 minute. I'll be back with you in 1 minute.
All right,
anybody? So yeah, it's I'm so excited, mate. And I mean, we might come crashing down with a draw at Chelsea. You never know, and then it's all gone wrong. But to be 1 game away from the final of the FA Cup again after the season we've had, you know, I'd take a cup. I'd take a cup double plus winning the Premier League any day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's funny because I was talking to a few mates at work about this the other day who are Liverpool fans, and they said like, "Oh, you might do like kind of similar to what we did." Oh, okay. Well, please stand by. You remember, like, obviously we pipped them to the league title in the final day with that Aston Villa come from behind victory.
Yeah,
but they won the cup double themselves. I think there's a bit of parallels with that too, where it's like Liverpool fans would turn around and say, "Well, yeah, of course we'd love to have the league, but hey, if I'm walking away from this season with a couple of domestic trophies, like I have absolutely no problems with that whatsoever." And I'll probably look at it the same way too. Yes, I'm not going to like the idea of Arsenal winning because God forbid we won't hear the bloody end of it.
Arsenal crap.
There, see, thank you.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to sit here and praise bottlers anymore. I've praised them and I praised them and I praised them, and the fan base have been arrogant. And if they don't win this title, they're going to get everything they deserve.
Well, did you see my message I put in the group chat? It's similar because I was responding to what you said about your nice little rant you had the other day. Have you calmed down, by the way?
No, I went on Hassam's and had me rant with Dale. Dale's been dodging me for a few days. Big up Dale, but he's been dodging me for a few weeks.
Have you also come down from your sparring session in the family stand?
No comment.
I know what you like. I know you like. You had a fan. You had an away fan in the home section start talking about Tunnel Club and North Stand expansions, and you went absolutely apeshit. Apparently,
No comment.
If I speak, I'm in trouble yet.
No comment.
Like an episode of 24 Hours in Custody, mate. No comment.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
No,
there's
I just sent you a message just saying like I agree with what you're saying. I said, the problem for me is that what Arsenal do is kind of similar to like what all the Red Cartel fan bases do, where basically it's not about this whole like we're better than you or anything like this. I think what we've done over the last 10 years is our success has exposed them for the self entitlement that they think that they all have. Absolutely. That they think that that it's their God-given right to have access to every single trophy or be in contention to win every single trophy every single year.
It's the change in the narrative I don't like. The FA Cup, we've won 14. We don't need to win anymore. It's not about a quad. It's not about a treble. The league's the most important. It's like, hang on. No. Stop doing that. It really is wrong. And the thing is, they keep getting told, be humble. And they've never understood what that meant. That they've took it as a personal dig when it was advice of win, then you can be arrogant. Win, then you can be cocky. Win, then you can have chest. Don't win on being nearly men. They're still dying out on the Invincibles. That was 20 odd years ago because they haven't done anything since. And this is what I've noticed about a lot of the cartel clubs is United, you know, and this is not a dig at Liverpool fans, but Liverpool used to talk about their rich history and everything they'd won because they hadn't done anything in so long.
Yeah.
So then United fans were always used to say to Liverpool fans, you talk about your history because you're not good now.
Yeah, you live in the past.
But now United fans do it. They now talk about their past because they've done nothing now. And now Arsenal fans who used to, again, slag Liverpool fans off, are doing the same thing. When you have to talk about your, which, by the way, you can talk about your past, 100% you should do. But when you dine out on your history, it's like Nottingham Forest dining out on, Wolfie does it. Big up Wolfie, top guy. But he still talks about the Champions League. Great. He won 2 European Cups because he's done nothing since.
Yeah.
It's like that thing from Only Fools and Horses with Grandad and Uncle Albert during the war. Great. It only lasts so long before people start getting a bit pissed off with it. It's great, but enough's enough now.
Yeah. Yusuf thinks City fans have the same entitlement, though.
No. No. The newer fans do.
Yes. That's more of a generational thing because because people our age and older, we grew up with the dark days and we carry the dark days into the success.
Yeah.
Assuming that we're going to lose every single game until we win them.
Dreaming of quarterfinals.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, Yusuf, we're not rubbing salt in the wounds, mate. It's just myself and Macca haven't had a chance to have a chat on the show yet about Liverpool. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm quite happy to bang on about it all night, mate.
Of course you are, Macca. Yeah. I wanted to talk about because I wanted to wait till you came on, Mark, because we were just talking about Semenyo's performance and obviously like looking at that third goal that was scored as well was. I think you might have mentioned something on the show on Sunday or whenever it was about say like with Mamouche going forward because we look at Semenyo and I think Semenyo is just as good a second option as like a not a number 9 but like a finisher, a makeshift sort of striker, a makeshift forward when you want to rest Haaland, when you want to rotate Haaland or get him off 30 minutes early before a big game 3 days time. Like, do you think this is more concern for Mamouche going forward? Like, because I don't know if someone mentioned it, but I think it might have been Governor actually the other day, and I like the idea of him talking about saying, well, you got Divine Mikasa who's doing very, very well at a poor Leicester squad right now, and given the state of hierarchy with football as well, like with players, when you're talking about trying to play number 2 to the best striker in the world, I think the best way to go about that is to go with, it's either going to be one end of the spectrum. You can't have a player in their mid to late 20s in their prime and say you're going to be the second-rate striker. They can't do it unless being a striker is their second job, because during the week they're working the, I don't know, they're working the law courts or something like that. But for me, I think going forward, I think I would look at someone like a Divine Mikasa over maybe like a Omar Marmoush, because they're going to understand their place in the club, and every time they get that opportunity, they're going to be putting 110% in, trying to perform well. And someone like Divine Mikasa has proved himself, not only just what he's doing at Leicester, but when we've asked him to play in those cup rounds this season, he's actually performed very, very well. Yeah. He doesn't look like a fish out of water, basically, unlike some previous seasons where we've put like what we anticipate the next big thing, next big midfielder and next big attacker, and they just seem to look a little bit lost. But he doesn't seem to look a little bit lost. So I think it's only the only way is up when it comes to someone like Divi Mukasa.
I just don't think. I think we've tried this road twice. Tried it with Alvarez, great player. Didn't want to be understood. We've tried it with Mamouche, great player. Don't want to be understood. I'd rather. I understand. Hear the noise. Give Haaland the rest. And I keep saying this. The problem is in 2026 football, top players don't want to rest. When they mean a rest, they mean 20 minutes at the end of a game when it's off. So like Saturday, for example, you're 4-0 up, get to the 63rd minute, take Haaland off. That's their rest. That's the way they view a rest.
Yeah.
They don't wait when they're sat on the bench, they don't see that as a rest. Pep said it himself about Nico G sadly last week. We got confirmation. Rodri's fit, Rodri plays. When Rodri's not playing, he will moan. When Haaland is not playing, he will moan. This pet rotation stuff isn't always going to work. You'll see it soon with Kushinoff and Diaz.
Yeah.
It is.
Look at Bernardo. He's averaged 50 games a year.
Yeah, I know we want to see it that way, and it's give everyone a go and give everyone a chance, and that's brilliant. But that's not reality, sadly. People do this, well, he rested and he rested. They don't. They don't rest. They have time out of the game. Because believe it or not, I got laughed at for this. Players get appearance bonuses as well, by the way.
Of course.
I'm taking money out of your pocket. You don't set foot on that pitch, you don't get your appearance bonus.
Yeah. And bonuses for scoring goals, hat-tricks, etc.
Exactly. I'm sorry. This is what people think, oh, well, it's a basic wage. Well, they get a load of bonuses on top as well.
Exactly.
And I just think Mikasa would be an ideal situation of, well, do you know what?
Well, he's one end of the spectrum. Otherwise, you've got to get like a 36-year-old striker who knows
what I was saying,
play 20 games a season. Yeah.
Give the academy a go.
Yeah.
So it is an ample way around a problem.
Yeah. And that's the way the club's going to do it, because in 2 years' time, another club, whether it be Championship, Premier League, even Europe, will turn around and say, all right, here's 25 million for Mikasa, and that's all pure profit from an academy player.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect win-win situation.
I just think, what do you do? Do you go and buy a...
There you go. Neil's hit it right on the head.
Well, you know, I know he's joking, and he loves it.
No, he's not.
But you've got to think of something where you can't go and spend 70 million on a backup striker.
No.
Who is a fully fledged international, who is in his prime of his peak, like 23, 24, 25, they're not going to want to sit on a bench.
Exactly.
Which asks me the question is, when Alvarez and Mamouche signed, that's great, but surely they knew the situation coming in.
Yeah, they've got him, mate.
Pep promises first-team football to nobody. I don't believe in this. Trafford was promised first-team football. I don't believe that. Because that's not what Pep doesn't promise team. He promises chances and opportunities, not first team. Unless you are ilk of the ilk. I think, you know, Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're at the elite, then yes, you may get promised that. But it is what it is. Yeah.
I wanted your thoughts on before you came on to the second goal we scored against Liverpool from Haaland. Did that scream an Aguero type finish to you?
That screamed Alan Shearer.
Yeah, a bit of that too. But I was thinking about. I know Aguero didn't score many with his head, but that screamed a bit of Aguero to me. No, come on, running away from the angles which you deflect the ball. Aguero had a bit of that in him. I know it wasn't as regular as Shearer because he was 4'0" compared to Shearer, but it was still a bloody good goal.
Oh,
and something that we haven't seen from Haaland for. I can't remember the last time we saw Haaland score a goal like that, or at least with his head. He's probably done a few with his foot.
Dortmund. I think Dortmund was probably the last
time. No, that was his foot. I'm talking about his head.
No, that's what I mean, Dortmund.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever scored a goal like that with his adversary.
Not that. You're talking about the ninja kick goal.
No, I'm talking about with his head. He's never scored a head.
Yeah.
Never scored a goal like that. That was pace, it was power, it was accuracy. He leapt like a salmon. Not that he needs to do because he's 6 foot odd. But I also think the way we crossed the ball was very different as well, because I think Semenyo adds that pace, that power, that accuracy, I'm going to say Semenyo and Doku don't give.
No.
You watch Doku's goal.
I think Semenyo's brought a bit more of the Sane Sterling level of wide attack. It's more direct, isn't it? Yeah, it's brought a little bit of that back,
Doku's crosses are generally along the floor if you watch.
Yeah.
Semenyo's tend to be in the right area, but the accuracy is not there.
No.
Yeah.
So, for me, Semenyo's sort of just... And he did it in his debut against Exeter. He whipped in that ball for Rico Lewis nice and early, and Rico Lewis got in it. What I like is first-time crossing. I think first-time crosses defenders hate. You can't defend a first-time crosses easy. You can't set the body up.
Yeah,
the body's not set up to deal with.
And particularly if you're whipping in crosses and you've caught them flat-footed or on the back foot or moving away from the momentum of the ball as well too. So yeah, first time is almost unstoppable if you hit it at the right time.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Just Neil Aguero, great header for his size. Then again, remember how good Tim Cahill was in the air.
He was the man. He was the man, wasn't he?
I've never been more conflicted in my life because he bagged a few bloody good ones against us, didn't he, during his Everton time?
He loved playing against us, yeah.
Yeah. I said I've never felt more conflicted in my life.
Macca, you're English. Stop getting on the Australia train.
Cahill was the one I said if we could have signed any player through that period, he was amazing, mate. For a guy that is his height, to get in the air like that, we could have done with him. I mean, we could have done with a few over.
Mac, you got to remember, Martin's got PTSD with Australian players at City, so.
Oh, that is true.
For every good one we've had 4 terrible ones. Well, actually, technically 2, because David Oldfield was decent. Tiato was very good.
Oh, yeah.
And the other 3.
There's 2.
Yeah.
David Oldfield and Tiato, I'll give you, but I'm not having all sorts Van der Blur, bloody, all the other.
No. None of them, mate. None of them.
When you told me that Allsop had got substituted from being a substitute, that's when I was like, yeah, I've got it. This is always going to be difficult to defend. I still think Australia will go further in England than the World Cup.
As I called him, Danny Allslow.
Yeah,
very creative.
He got nicknamed Licorice All Sorts at one point. Danny All Sorts. Didn't know what you were going to get with him.
Makes sense, but yeah, funny.
I know you're hosting part of on. I am going to come to the City Trust in a bit once I get the go.
Oh yeah.
Because we are going to talk about that, and I've also got some news on Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about that now, but...
I'll talk about it now while Elliot's here, because Elliot won't like this. So we'll talk about it now. Yeah. Can I just share my screen? Sorry, Elliot. Good morning. Hope you are well. Let me just share my screen. Right, where is it? Right, it's a quick 1 minute video. I just want to. Where the hell is it? Here it is.
So, why do we need the Citizens' Trust? It's to authentically represent the views of City supporters through a new independent and democratic organisation run by the fans for the fans.
It's a way for fans to get organised, have a strong collective voice representing our interests, a place to come together to protect the culture and the heritage of our club, whilst building links with our local communities.
In the past 2 years, supporters groups have proven that we can gain positive changes when we work together. Some examples of this work being successful include the Community Shield boycott, stopping disabled fans from being unfairly charged to park at the Etihad, and last season's ticket policy concessions.
Forming the trust is a natural continuation and formalisation of work that's already taking place across the fan base. It will allow supporters to more effectively represent our interests now, protect them more robustly going forwards.
The Citizens' Trust will be a truly member-led supporters trust, advocating for City fans present and future with an independent, authentic and accountable voice.
We will act as an alliance of supporters, a union of fans from all backgrounds that represent supporters' interests and protects our rights, as well as a rich heritage and culture of our club.
The trust will aim to engage with the club's management through diplomacy and action where required. This will be for the benefit of the trust members and all Manchester City supporters, local and overseas.
We'll do this by working with fellow City supporter groups, standing in solidarity with the wider footballing family, maintaining strong links with community organisations, both across Greater Manchester and nationwide.
Our members help to shape our direction as a trust. That's us and that's you. So come and join the Citizens Trust today.
There you go. Which I think's a great idea, and I've already signed up.
Yeah.
Good call, that mate. Good call.
So just if just from in layman's terms, how is that working in relation to say like City Matters in 1894? Will they work together, or is this going to be work as like a subsidiary of them, or how's it meant to work?
I think the work with them is going to be separate.
Right.
Somebody says on the tin for the fans, by the fans.
Yeah. Does this jeopardize any of those two, or is it more just going to
No,
just
working? My understanding of it, the working coexistence, but they are a separate entity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
It's to give fans more of a voice, because I think, and I know, and this is not, it is what it is. I know how things work, etc. But I think a lot of fans feel they've lost the voice within the club at the moment.
Yeah. Any ideas? I don't know how much you've looked into it, but what would that look at in terms of? Would they have any affiliation to or any voice for fans, even if they're members of like international supporters clubs?
I presume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I only got announced this morning, mate, so I don't know what they're for.
Yeah,
I can ask.
It just looked like subscription, and you can join up. They didn't specify where you have to be or who you have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, and also, this is right. We'll get back. The Burnley game has now been confirmed.
Yeah. 22nd, 8 p.m., 5 a.m., 23rd here in Australia. Gotta love no more daylight savings.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Yeah, Burnley, I think, is a good. I mean, I don't really mind when we play because I think we should win that game. But I think I kind of like the idea of actually playing a game midweek before the cup semi-final. I'd rather have them a bit more match, a bit more round, a bit more match fit, ready to go for the semi-final. But yeah, looking forward to that. We happy we got Southampton in the semi-final, by the way.
Yeah, I wasn't unhappy with that. I was aiming for a Port Vale semi-final, Southampton or West Ham.
Yeah, the perfect
in
world,
the final. But,
it's funny. It's like if we didn't play Chelsea the week before, I would have actually preferred to play Chelsea in the semi-final because I think we would have beaten them. And then, but after we saw last season with Palace, there's still no guarantees, is there?
Right, no easy games in that semi-final or final. We've been to a few, haven't we?
Yeah. Ash says there's still no news about the Palace game. Well, that's because Palace are still in Europa League or Conference. I always forget which one they're in, Europa or Conference, mate. So until they're out of the Europa League, we won't really know when we're going to play them, to be honest. So that one is a TBA, wait and see. That could even be pushed back to the last week of the season, even. Martin?
Yeah, there's no date until Palace probably come out of the Conference League. There's not what we can do.
But if we get through the semi, then we got to find a spot for Bournemouth, because we're due to play Bournemouth on the 17th of May, aren't we?
That's right.
That could be last away game of the season, maybe.
Let's assume Palace made it to the Conference League final. Then that would probably mean that you would probably have to move Palace to midweek before the final. Then it'd have to be
before the final,
because after the semi-finals of Conference League, I think you have like about a 2 or 3 week gap before they play the final anyway. And as far as I know, I think the Conference League final falls on a midweek as well too. So it remains to be seen where they squeeze that one in as well.
So did you say Burnley's the Wednesday night? So that doesn't really indicate whether the semi will be Saturday or Sunday, does it?
No. But if they've already moved Burnley, then surely the FA will announce the fixture probably by close of business today in the UK.
And the
rumors
it's Saturday.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, I think it's because I think Southampton's got a midweek game on the Tuesday or something after they play us anyway. So it probably makes sense. It probably makes sense to have it on the Saturday.
They have. Anyway. They got Ipswich the week after. Yeah, the week after the semi. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
His new emoji.
Definitely true there, mate. Definitely got to earn your place in that final. Been to enough semi-finals where we haven't.
Yep.
Go on. Get Elliot's opinion on the City Trust. Go on. I want to hear Elliot.
No comment. Where were the City Trust back in 1995?
We were the Trust. We were outside fucking protesting.
We were more entitled.
Showing your lack of trust.
We were less entitled back when we were shit than what we are now. Now we're good. Tell me I'm wrong.
Entitled on what though?
You name it. You name whatever you want to name, and I can probably guarantee you 95% that we're maybe a little bit entitled as fans. You want to know what? I can ask for you if you want to know what colour box shorts Furian Soriano's wearing this morning, Martin, or Coldoon, or...
That's what I mean. You're loving the... Do you know what it is? Do you know one thing I will say we were never scared of in the 90s, Elliot? We weren't scared of going against the board of the owners when they did something wrong. Now we are, because we're scared of all the money going away.
Well, I mean, they are the best owners in the world, to be fair. So,
well, except that, but they can make errors as well.
Yeah, it's true. Nobody in life does not go for life and never makes no errors at all. So I don't disagree with that one. But
I just think you're going to be people. There is a little bit of scared of, if we have a go at them, they'll up and go.
I think it's a split one, isn't it? Because me and someone else having a conversation on this yesterday, and we were saying, like, if you're going off as Soriano, me and no, it wasn't. But we were saying if you're actually going off as what Soriano actual job is to do, and people aren't gonna like this, he does an absolute incredible job
to make money.
The amount of money what he makes is incredible, and there's no disputing on that. I get it. The prices, what people think, even though I'm a little bit different with that, because obviously I see it from a little bit of a different point of view, where some teams you only pay £2 less in a championship game, which for the brand of football what we're watching and what we've watched over the last decade, I cannot sit here and say what we pay for what we've watched over the last decade. I cannot moan about that. And maybe that's why I go to all the games. Maybe that's a big part of it. I don't know. I just think whatever we're doing what we're doing, and like what we're seeing at the minute, I just think let's just embrace it. Let's not.
Elliot,
let's not stop behind it.
I know this is an easy comparison to do, but I always just compare it to, overall ticket price, not even season tickets, but overall ticket prices for London clubs.
Yeah,
and we know deep down we play better football than all the London clubs, and you know, what you pay, what you pay for what you get is just incredible.
Agree.
Compared to what they
Agree,
deal
man.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
The trophies show for that and all, and that's the thing. What I would say, like the trophies don't lie. The fact you what is it under pet 23 times at Wembley? That's just mind my language, but fucking madness. Is it? I mean the.
Don't get out of yourself, Cup Double Daddy.
I mean, I think it's obviously at the minute in time with what we have been, and it's just mad to say. But yeah, no, I can't argue, man. I'm not gonna go on that one, and it's up to people what they want to do and what they want to say and everything else. But no, I haven't got much to moan about, to be fair. So
yeah, no, I probably agree with you too, mate. I mean, it's a bit different coming from our perspective, and Macca feels the same as well too, where you know we take what we can get, you know, coming from this side of the world as well too. But you know, at the same time too, we also want to be cautious about how much we're being charged for tickets, because then, you know, it's like we're going to look at it and say, well, if it's going to continue getting more and more expensive, then are we going to have to go through bloody resale or something? Or, you know, are fans going to have to rely on how many people do they know, or do they have mutual friends or something over in Manchester or something like that? So, you know, there was a little bit of concerns there for a bit, you know, for the last season or two, where, you know, we were getting reports of, like, I think we're playing league matches against Bournemouth, they were charging like £82 or something for a game. And, you know, it does seem to be a little bit more regulated now. And, you know, to be honest, there was a period there where I was actually concerned about, you know, ticket prices for some of our members, where I actually started encouraging more of them to, if you're going to go over, try and go over when away matches are on, because at least, you know, you're never going to be forking out more than £30 anyway. So, but since then, you know, they seem to have put, you know, a little bit more of a, like I said, they've regulated a little bit more, made it a bit more understandable, a bit more, you know, not as much of a financial burden, because, you know, some of us are forking out $5,000-$10,000, you know, to come over and watch the club play. And, you know, it's like, you don't really want to be worrying about overpaying for tickets and that to watch your own club. Like, you know, like an example, like if I get an opportunity, I'll go and watch a big game somewhere in Europe, and I'll go through the resale market just because it makes things easier, makes it convenient. But I don't want to ever be in a position where I feel like I have to do that to watch my own club, the club that I've watched for 20 years. I don't ever want to feel like I'm in that position. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts of it going forward, you know, because the way we deal with it here is always going to be different to what you guys have to deal with or not.
I mean, the one thing I would say, just to end what I'm maybe saying on this situation, because maybe people get a bit confused what I'm saying. I'm not saying from what the club do is great, because it's not like there's very bad stuff what the club maybe have done in the last 3-4 years, and I get that side of it. I'm not sticking up for them on that. But what I would say is, no matter what the club choose to do, they're never going to have everybody happy with that decision.
Of course, yeah.
So there's the thing I always look at and always think about it. Maybe me and Martin spoke about this before. Like with the Rags, where they maybe have these like so-called foreign fans who maybe come over from, whether it's Malaysia, whether it's from Saudi Arabia, whether it's from, I don't know where it may be in the world. They seem to go into an area where they maybe feel comfortable, and maybe they can do the stuff what they want to do, whether that's filming a game for 90 minutes, which there's a lot to say for that, and I'll keep my opinions on that to my own, but I think you can guess what I'm probably going to think of it. But then there's that situation Pat, where there may be people come over, and there was a geezer next to us the other day in the FA Cup where I think obviously he must have been a member, or I think he obviously bought the ticket or whatever it may be. And he was great, man. Like, he was saying, like, what's this like song? Who's this about? And he wanted to know, and that's what it's about. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you want. And there ain't always going to be these people where...
It's a shame more can't follow that, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And do you know what I mean? He might have been a City fan for 2 years, and if that's the case, and so be it. I'm not going to be against someone coming and spotting his team because we're successful, because that's what people do. That's just a modern thing or a life thing, I think. So no, that's where I stand with it, to be fair. I mean, it's great people want to learn. Great people want to learn. It's great people want to learn as well. Like, I think we've got to respect that. Like,
yeah, we had a good example of that on Saturday at our pub. There was a good mate of ours, Roy Kipman, who travels all the way from Penrith. Now, to put that in context, to travel from Penrith to Crow's Nest to watch a game is like, it's like, how far would it be, mate? Macca would
it's
be
probably
like,
coming from the Midlands, really. Coming from the Midlands.
Maybe like South Midlands all the way to Manchester just to come and watch City play at the pub, basically, with us. And
on the telly,
Yeah, he brought his son along, and he said, yeah, my son started watching City for about 6 months now, and he was quite literally like videotaping us with doing all the chants and that. And anything he didn't understand, he basically came in and just asked some of us, "Oh, can you just type in the lyrics?" Like he was absolutely, and he was as old as I am. Like, you know, I'm 40 now. I think he easily looked, he was well in his 30s, and he was absolutely just soaked in it. He loved every bit of it. And you know, it's like if we're able to just persuade one person in our supporters group per year to get that, it just, you know, a snowball starts an avalanche, basically.
No, I agree, man.
The big thing about our city is the more City shirts you can convince, the less Liverpool shirts you'll see, the less United shirts you'll see. And when I got here 20 years ago, when I was coaching kids soccer teams, and you saw one City shirt, and it was all Liverpool and United. And when I see the kids now between sort of ages 8 through to 18, there's loads of City shirts. Kids love success, you know, and you know, we've got the benefit of birthright. You know, we were born in a place where we're so lucky to be part of Manchester City. But you know, when you go back to those years, Martin, in 93, 94, 95, forward with Franny, we didn't feel so lucky, did we? So for me, my bugbear is the things that don't affect me at all. And, you know, since the days of Swales and through to now, we've got the best owners in the world, but the ticket office and the policies and the way they treat their customers, because that's what we are, we're customers to them, is terrible. You know,
that's the bit I don't like. I'm not a customer.
That's the biggest thing for me. We're not.
I get
we're
that's
not, mate.
what it is. But that was maybe this is me and my experiences, and I get it. But and Elliot and Mac, you know what I mean. We sat and we basically stopped this club going bankrupt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and nobody called us a customer then. We were called the best fans in the world, and we were the cornerstone of it. And I think it just feels when the success has come, we feel as though that's no longer the case.
Yeah, I was going to say, Martin, how quickly it was forgotten.
Yeah, and I think to me, the fan, and this is not just a City thing. And I'm sorry, I know I'm an old goat. I know I'm an unk. I'm sorry, I can't stop that. But I believe in values and I believe in respect. And I genuinely do believe that as much, and I don't even blame Caldoon. There's people do believe. I think chasing the money as I think so. The fans have been demeaning a little bit.
Yeah, it's rinse every penny. It's rinse.
And by the way,
penny.
you've seen this at Liverpool. Did anyone see the news at Liverpool yesterday with what's going on? Their local fan base is not happy. Yeah. And it isn't a local abroad thing. I'm totally with Elliot. I don't care if you've been a fan 5 minutes. We're not saying that is the case. What we're saying is don't treat the long fans worse than you treat everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's what Liverpool are seeing it. The dollar signs and the pound signs are more important.
And it's such short-termism as well, you know, because we know football's cyclical, and for as much as we want the glory to continue as long as possible, football cycles. And when we're not doing so well and we're not winning trophies, those hospitality tickets will be sitting there and they won't be snapped up like they are at the moment.
Yeah. I watched an episode of the Overlap. This isn't just City. This is not in Forest. This is Everton. This is Liverpool. This is everywhere. All the match-going fans are saying the same thing. They feel less connected now.
Yeah.
So, like Elliot said, maybe it's just football. And I don't agree, as Elliot says and Luke says, I don't agree with the lower league charging 40 and 50 quid a ticket either.
No way. It's a disgrace.
I find that disgusting. That's why I made that thing of let's do the
semi-final. Creating more of a wealth gap. That's basically the championship by saying, well, we're not going to be left behind by the Premier League, but we're going to leave every other league behind as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what, mate? Maybe it is we are old goat and we go, you know, the modern world is different, but it doesn't make it right.
The big thing for me I see, and again, it doesn't affect me one little bit, is when you've got someone who's been going to City for years and years, and they've got 2 season tickets, and they can't go, and the neighbour and their kid would love to go. I've known you a long time. Have these for the day. Go and fill your boots. Enjoy a game at City. No, what they want is what United do, and what Liverpool do is give your ticket back in, and your £28 ticket or your £38 ticket will then be sold on for £380, £400. That's where it goes wrong for me. And again, doesn't affect me in the least, because if I have to come over and I have to get hold of tickets, I'll always get hold of one by hook or by crook. But it's the everyday, and the worst thing for me, legacy fan. What's a legacy fan? We're supporters of Manchester City. No one used to call me a legacy fan. Absolute nonsense.
Legacy fan is just another word for a more formal way of unk, basically.
I don't know, mate. If you weren't at Macclesfield away, in what year was that? You shouldn't be allowed to buy a ticket at all. There's the rule.
No, but I don't agree with that, because I am with
me either, mate. Me either.
I know you're. I do think that fans abroad should be. I don't care if you've been a fan for 5 minutes. Yeah. I just think learn the history and the ethos of the football club.
Yeah.
Well, I've said this to Macca before. I said when we get new fans in, I said, okay, embrace your favorite player, embrace the success, whatever. Also embrace the character of the club as well too, and the character of the club is the fans.
Yeah.
Sooner you learn, the sooner you learn to understand that, the sooner you'll actually change your perspective on life as well too. Because sure, you might have a tough job, and things might be going tough, but it's like you spend 5 minutes with us regardless whether we've been on the booze or not. We just see it. We just have a completely different perspective on life compared to what a lot of other people.
Elliot knows this. In Istanbul, what time was it when everyone came out of the ground, Elliot?
I hobbled out of the ground at about
1:30, 2 a.m.
quarter past 1, something like that. Yeah,
about 2 o'clock. Yeah,
and there was a line outside tattoo shops to get the treble tattooed onto people's legs and arms.
I couldn't have to flutter Amsterdam.
That's what fans are. If you lose that,
Mac is one of them.
You lose that. Honestly, people didn't give a shit. They're in the middle of Istanbul queuing up outside a tattoo shop at 3 a.m. in the morning. Just the sparks going, you know what I mean?
This makes sense.
They didn't care if the needle was clean or whatever. People were just like, get this tattoo on my body right now. Nobody cared. That's what a fan is being about. You cherish the moments. And I'll never, listen, Elliot is spot on. We have the best owners in the world.
Yeah.
But it's not the owners. I think it's 1 or 2 people there that have lost sight of what it's about. That's all my point is.
As always, mate, in whatever corporation you're in, and middle management can make a lot of mistakes, and they don't have to pay for it. It tends to be the customers.
That's where you're at, middle. Thank you. That's the word.
Yeah. It's interesting, mate. I had my brother-in-law's West Ham fan, and he's had a nightmare this weekend. And he said that game against Leeds basically sums up my last 62 years of supporting West Ham United. So I tell everyone, if you're going to be a Manchester City fan, you've got to watch the last 20 minutes of the 99 playoff final when we're at 0-0 and suddenly we go to 2-0 down against Gillingham. And if you watch the end of that game, that's what it sort of sums up, being a City fan, because it's just a bloody roller coaster.
I didn't leave.
No, I didn't, mate. I come a long way for that one.
Elliot left.
I didn't go anywhere. I was just shocked by it, to be honest. I think
left at QPR.
Now that was a thing. Now that was a thing. At QPR, there was very much temptation, I think, by everybody.
Oh man, that was a hard day. That one. But it was funny actually, because they were watching the West Ham game the other day, and loads of West Ham left 90 minutes or before. And then when the goals went in, they wouldn't let him back in. The stewards wouldn't let him back in.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was shades at Wembley '99 as well.
Can I know you're host. I've just got one last question.
There you are.
Have you seen the Florian Plettenberg and other things on this Anderson deal?
I haven't had a chance to look, but
feels off with me on this.
No, can you post it, or because like I said, I don't have X.
I'll read it out because I don't. Let me see if I can find it. He said, Forest expect United to remain seriously in the race. City have also registered their interest, but their focus is fully on Rodra. Forest are looking at a fee in the region of 100 to 120 million pounds still being.
Wow.
Which goes completely against what all the big United fan channels are saying. We can't afford that, even if they sell a shitload of players.
Mate, they can afford it. They bought Sancho.
I don't know. Plettenberg, he's such hit and miss. And let's be honest. Unless it's European football, he hits a lot more than he misses compared to.
I know Fabrizio. Someone said Fabrizio's mentioned some of that as well.
Not 120 million.
I'll tell you, I think it is going to be roughly around that. I think it's Marinakis, mate.
Yeah.
I
think it's his contract too, because he's with Forest for about another 3 years, something like that. So Marinakis he has a lot more say in it, yeah.
Elliot, would you pay 120 mil for Anderson?
Say again, mate.
Would you pay 120 million for Anderson?
I want 100 million for him.
Do you think City will pay that?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I just don't know if we'll ever go back to Jack Grealish money again.
The problem is, Pat, is it might be 90 with 10 million in add-ons if we were to win a trophy. So straight away, then it's 100 million.
I'm really curious to see if this does go through. I will be curious to see what sort of work Hugo Viana did, because if he's already shown in the seasons or two or so that he's been here, it's been a bit more of a bulldog when it comes to transfer fees than we expect. I mean, nobody expected 20 million for Gay. Everybody was convinced it was going to be 35.
Yeah.
So it remains to be seen. I don't know. I'm curious though. I'm curious to see what happens with that. But I wonder if Viana against Marinakis would be a situation of like immovable force against an unstoppable object, basically, sort of thing. But we'll see. We'll see.
Problem is, I don't know how much money we're going to make. That's the other side of it, either. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what we're going to make.
Well, are we on that bet, me and you?
What's that bet?
We having that £100 charity bet.
What, Nico Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put it up to 200 if the news what you're saying about Anderson's true.
Hey, listen. The thing is, Nico G's an apper.
We ain't going anywhere near 200 million or around that mark. So
yeah, apparently Inter Milan, Napoli, and Porto are all interested in him.
Wow.
I don't think it's a wise move.
Oh no, I agree with that. That I 100% agree with, but you can tell his bottom lips out at the minute.
Maybe got a point.
I totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. He's got a point. Yeah, but again, I said this earlier on. Players, I don't know. When we had this debate then about Mamouche, didn't we? Was he really expecting to get in ahead of Rodra?
I think it was more. Do you mean Haaland?
No,
Mamouche.
Really
no,
well, I know Mamouche, was he expecting to get in ahead of Haaland?
I think Mamouche saw himself as like coming inside off the left, didn't he, from last season? I think that's maybe where he was hoping he was gonna get some game time, and I don't know. Maybe there's a
bit weird because, like you say, the reason we signed him was because of what he did playing behind Ekitike centrally.
Yeah. This is where.
Yeah. So
this is maybe where.
I'm sure we'll make it work, but I don't know. It remains to be seen. Yeah.
What I don't understand is like if we played Cherky as like if we played Cherky as a 10, I wouldn't have much questions over the Mamouche thing, but the situation where we was in with at the Bernabeu where we was having Semenya was a 10, and obviously Cherky was on the bench and Mamouche was on the bench. I just and that's so we can go on about Pep all we like until 2 hours time, 3 hours time, but we're never going to know why he did what he did. But maybe that's where Mamouche as a point as to maybe why he's not playing, and maybe Nico G as well, where there's been certain games. If you look at maybe the Madrid game, could he maybe have put a Nico G in there with Rodri just to try and stop it a little bit from what was going on? Maybe the damage was already done by that point. I don't know. There's questions on that one as well. So no, I don't think Nico G probably knows he's not going to start over Rodri with. I might have just had this bit on with Pep as the manager. I think Nico G knows he's not going to start over Bernardo with Pep as the manager. Maybe another man. Maybe another manager. Well, Nico O'Reilly's a weird one because I can't make mind up what his best position is because he seems to be that good in every position he seems to be playing in.
In my opinion, Nico O'Reilly's going to be the next Bernardo, mate. I think he'll just be he'll be a certain position on the field on paper, and that's it.
But the thing I said,
once he's on the field, he'll just be a rover and he'll play everywhere for 90 minutes.
So you tell me though, Pat, and it's a good point what you're making, mate. But you tell me why Nico O'Reilly's gone back to playing at left back.
Well, would you even consider him playing left back? I mean, he's left back on paper.
I mean, no, I mean on the team.
He does everything except left back on the field.
I mean on the actual like team sheet. If you look at the team sheet, and obviously there's naturally Nico O'Reilly's at left back, and he's sort of that's where he's positioned at the start of the game. I know he doesn't normally play there. He goes in either overlap, so he goes into the middle.
What you could even say about Nico O'Reilly is it's almost like Pep wants to play him as like a left-sided version of what John Stones did in the treble season, but he's way more advanced. But he has the freedom to play a way more advanced.
I think he's that good. I'm going to say I think he may be that good that he may be just. I don't want this to happen, but he maybe just be this sort of player where 1 week he's playing at left back, the next week he's playing in midfield, he's playing as an 8, he maybe plays as a 10. I don't know. I literally do not write anything off with this at the minute because.
Oh, but every week it's just on paper he says he's left back, but don't read into that.
Yeah, and I also think another thing is doing it last year when obviously I know Martin's obviously going to think I'm digging him out here, I'm not, but last year when I was shouting for this O'Reilly in midfield and the team and stuff. That was one thing, but to do it again this season, I mean, we're now on 7th of April and he's now had another unbelievable season. Could argue.
Because I said at the end of last season, I said the big test for him will be the following season. Because,
and that's what's impressed me, Pat. That's what's impressed me. And there's not many games where I look away and I go, you know what, he's had a bit of a stinker there, maybe the Bernabeu, but I don't think it was great at all there. If I'm honest, I couldn't think of many players who was good that day. So you've got to give him that.
For the way he reacted to that too.
Quality,
man. He had a terrible one too.
Quality, man, absolute quality, and this is what I mean with this lad. Like, I think he maybe had that little bit of, I don't think it shows, but I think he maybe has that little bit of arrogance on a football pitch, which I wish another certain English player had.
Every player has a right to have a little bit of arrogance because that's what got you there. But it's how you control it. And,
I think the problem is, though, Pat,
there's some that never knew how to control it. Like for me, there's the most arrogant footballer who never was able to control his arrogance. For me, was Memphis Depay. He just had an absolutely unbearable, out of control ego. Basically, good player, but
I think the problem
all go to his head, and he could have been a hell of a player. But
I think the problem is, Pat,
Leroy, and I'm going to be honest with you too. I think Leroy Sané had a bit of an ego when he played with us as well too.
I think
that Centurion season, and you used to see it. I mean, I don't know if Macca, if you remember when we used to watch Centurion season matches, how many times did he have a heavy touch on plays where he should have easily buried a goal? Put the ball away.
But I think also his ego and his arrogance actually played to his strengths as well.
Correct.
He went out and he just felt invincible. And some of the things he did were because of that.
And I think every player's entitled to have a bit of that.
You're missing the obvious one, Pat, for me.
You're missing the obvious player knows how to control it as well.
Yeah, you're missing the obvious one for me, Pat. Balotelli. I think Balotelli was a great example of that, where
if there was an ego trophy, it would be named after Balotelli, mate.
That's what I mean. I honestly think that he thought it could just turn up on just a game and just think, I'm the best player in the world on that day. Yeah. And I honestly believe Mario thought that. And maybe that's why he has that little bit of loving from City even now, where he's just a little bit of a, I don't know. And to be honest, another one, what's the shout? But for me, he knew how good he was, and he showed it before he even joined us, was Tevez. I think Tevez was in that sort of thing where he knew exactly what to do, how to do it in a certain game, and I think he was the player who I think we needed at that point. If I'm honest, I think we needed someone like that a little bit, and Yeah. And
The
then
big one
there's
with
other players.
Tevez was the arrogance, the ego, saying, "Oh, I don't train. It's not. I don't train. I don't do fitness. But then you say, okay, well then show me what you do on a weekend, and he would back it up. Most weekends he would back it up.
Yeah. That's what Neville said, innit, about sorry, not Neville, Kyle Walker, about Aguero. He said it the other week about him being an absolute terrible trainer, but you're not bothered. And do you know what, Mac? I don't know what you think of this as well, but when he said that, you know what just flicked in my head, it just comes straight on, was Maradona. I just imagine Maradona being like that, just like an absolute nightmare in training, just probably doing showboats, and like while they're running around, he's probably just doing 29 kick-ups on his head and then performing on a match day. That's what it's about.
He's rolled up socks, flip flops or something.
Keep
running around the pitch, doing laps around the pitch. Yeah,
it was interesting that way, Aguero, wasn't it? That he was more often than not late for training. And you think no one puts up with that, but because it's Aguero, you would.
Yeah. That's it. That's the one. Well, no, I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do with the Anderson one. I mean, I think I've always stood with this with Rich, actually, funny enough, where I've always said I'd always prefer Wharton over Anderson. The thing with Anderson, what makes me, I don't know if the right word is to use, but I don't like maybe this is a different conversation for another time, but for me, the last two games, for me, are the two best performances. Now, there's an argument that they are anyway, because obviously the results and who we played against and the performances, what we've had. But I think it showed, and I think deep down, I think the players have had 2 days off since the Liverpool game. I think Pep will have sat there and gone, have I changed it too much this season from what I've just done in the last two games? And I think there may be a little bit of Pep where he sits there and he thinks, look how many games we've had the ball in the air, just flying it to Haaland for him to hopefully take it down, and then no one's near him if he does take it down. And then the last two games where we've seen we're playing football out from the back, whether it's been, obviously I know how convenient it's been with James Trafford, that's another conversation for another time, I think, as well, because I know Martin don't want to go down that road probably again. But I think the way we've been on the ball, we've got Chik on the ball, Kushinov running out from the back, O'Reilly, but we've just spoke about him with his performances, like inverting fullbacks in, Nunes going on the overlap. I think we've really gone back to what's worked for the last 9-10 years. And I think this may be where, I've always said this is where, for me, Bayern Munich and PSG have a great chance of winning the Champions League, because they haven't changed the identity of the football they played last season.
PSG are just rinsing and repeating what they did last season.
Correct.
They've found that stride now. Like
I think Arsenal's right with people's brains
against Monaco, and they look rapid. They look like they're ready to go again with them. They've built that momentum up again. To go on another cup run.
I think Arsenal's fried with people's brains, mate. I'm being generally serious with that, and I'm not knocking Arsenal if they go and win the league. I'll say congratulations. I'm sure many of us will do, because we're not that sort of fan base to not do stuff like that. But for me, I just think the long throw-ins, the corners, the old physical side of it. I just think, why have we done that? What's the need for that? And obviously, I know
it's like following a trend or something. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. I honestly, mate, I watched them quite a lot, to be fair, this season, probably down to Vinny and that, don't get me wrong, but I watched Bayern, and honestly, it just reminds me of the 17-18 season with Sané, Aguero. The fact he's got Kane dropping deep, and obviously Kun never did that as much, but when we played, obviously, Jesus up front, we sort of did that a lot. Dropping deep, picking the ball up, Kane to spread it out to release it. That'd be obviously Jesus spreading it out to Sané or Sterling. And it just reminds me, and I don't know what you guys think of that, but I honestly think that, and I look at it and I think, you know what, that's a little bit of a breath of fresh air when you watch that sort of football, because what we've seen this year, and I say England, if I'm honest, the all English pyramid, I've not watched a game where I thought, that's not, don't get me wrong, it's old school, I get it's old school, but Jesus, man, like, it's not great to watch. And I've watched certain games where I've just been like, what's this about? And
I love that, Elliot, absolutely.
Mate,
by the way, just one thing about looks like Coventry coming back.
Oh,
that'll be a good away day next year.
No.
I think that'll be a very, very good away day.
Well, when the fixtures come out in the next few months, Martin, we know when Rich will be over, and that's when it's Coventry away.
Yeah. You know, by the way,
he's dying to do that one again. Yeah.
City women won 1-0 yesterday at Birmingham.
Birmingham, face Chelsea in the semi-final, I believe.
Yeah, Chelsea in the semi-final.
Yep.
So the women
Martin.
could be on for a double.
Coventry coming up. The Premier League is holding its breath for that second place, currently occupied by
Have you seen that
Millwall
fight?
FC.
Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Millwall. You know what? You're gonna think I'm crazy here. Call me crazy.
No.
How's
this?
Premier League could be a damn good laugh.
Ooh,
I tell you what, you're not wrong.
Imagine this. Imagine being at the Premier League. You get cleared to 115 and Millwall get promoted.
Could you imagine Millwall versus West Ham? Millwall versus Chelsea?
Yeah.
Millwall versus Arsenal. There's some bangers in there, guy.
No.
Wait for this one, Martin. Millwall versus Manchester City. That's always been an interesting clash. That one.
You're gonna go back to the 90s when we used to have all the fights.
Yeah. Well, it's more they wouldn't let us out.
So wait. When we play Millwall
half.
away, are they going to have no away fans? And if Haaland scores a hat trick, he'll just be applauding to the empty stand.
Well, Wrexham are in the playoffs as well. Southampton are fighting it out. Hull are in there, so Briggs will be up there.
Someone posted a comment before. They said after we play them in the Cup semi-final, they've got a not a playoff game, but against playoff opposition in Ipswich midweek, straight after Wembley. Yeah,
maybe they'll play a weekend team against us then.
I've also heard another little rumor. I've heard Tone and Luke may make an appearance at Wembley. But the question is, which end will they be sat in?
Hey, you said that. You said that one.
Luke knows I'm only joking, but Tone might be.
Next time I'm on with Tone, I've got a bone to pick with him because I'm jealous of him, that bastard. Bloody hell. Some of you posted on Instagram the other day. I was like, "Oh, you lucky side." I'll discuss it.
By the way, I am not in charge of the Instagram. The Instagram is nothing to do with me.
Neither.
Where is Tone from? I'm not allowed to say.
Join the dots. Join the dots.
The end of a hedge.
Well, the top half of this panel on screen should be making an appearance in mid-May. Should be making a Wembley.
I think I might have to change my dates because I think I was after Bournemouth. Yeah.
Well,
I think I'm coming in a day too late.
Someone else I'm meeting Elliot at Wembley.
Oh.
There was a rumour I heard.
What's the rumour again? I didn't hear that.
The rumour I heard was me, you, and somebody else having a meet up at Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Melbourne's finest, yeah. Is that the best way to put it, Mate?
No, it's not Ozzy. No, Ozzy. No. Yeah, Ozzy on Instagram. Yeah, Ozzy's on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not
Melbourne's finest, isn't it? Yeah.
Any other news, Captain? Anything on Rodders? Because everyone's going by me in the chat about it.
Oh, have I got the armband?
It's your show. You're hosting.
No, it's my show, but it doesn't mean I do bloody research, do I? I don't have X. I don't have X. Usually, all this news comes out when I'm bloody middle of the night, anyway. But look, if anybody said anything about what's the reports? Fabrizio, what? No, didn't someone say what? Apparently, new contract till 2029.
Yeah, apparently that's getting close.
It's your show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Nice.
Don't worry, I'll wait, Martin.
He must have heard Rich.
The Rich is too busy, Rick.
Rich just scared him into staying.
Jeez.
I'm not leaving here. Rich will have a go on that.
Yeah, kicking off on that, Rich.
No, that's according to Fabrizio. We don't know whether we don't know if it is true or not.
There's a great chance, isn't there? I think there's a great chance if they put the money towards him, what he maybe wants, and there may be a situation now where is he showed his best in the last two games? Probably so. Yeah, I do think Bernardo's been a massive help for him. Like, I think maybe that needs to be a little bit highlighted a lot, to be honest. Like the way that Bernardo's played and with him sort of helping Rodri out, I think that's been massive for Rodri. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's been so big. Like I look at the Madrid game, going back to it again, I know, but like the way he was sort of just left exposed in the middle. Maybe Rodri 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I think we probably would have got away with that, but not now. He's had a big injury, and Who's not saying he might get back to them levels. I don't know about that one, but no, I don't actually know. The question what needs to be probably asked is there going to be any sort of thing in this new contract if it includes a clause for another club maybe, or is it going to be just a straight you're staying and there's no release clauses or certain things for other clubs to look at? I don't know, but that'll be interesting.
Well, let's be honest. If he goes through to 2029, which is what the rumor is, according to what chat Fabrizio said, that would get him to about what? Probably about 33, 34? 33, 34 years of age. I might be right. I'm not too sure.
Yes. What is he now? 30? Is he 30 now? Was he 30, 31? Yeah.
I think you've got well past his prime and a little bit some. When you talk about his the importance of what the position he plays in that squad.
Right. What someone's just put in the chat. I don't know how true it is, but something about Madrid officials aren't paying a big fee. Is that what Fabrizio said as well, or is that just from somebody else?
I don't know.
I want to say if that is the case, I maybe think that might be a big reason as to why Rodri's saying. I know I want to maybe believe it's because he loves us and like we've treated him great since his recovery, but I maybe think if Madrid have said they're not paying a fee for Rodri, I maybe think that might have. I imagine that maybe annoy Rodri as much as we love Rodri. I think Rodri's quite a little bit of a person who maybe he says what's on his mind. And he says what's on his mind as well. I mean, like, love him or hate him kind of thing as an opposition manager. I think the thing what he said about Arsenal, he still rattles them now. He said about the mentality. But I don't know. I don't know if that's true and Madrid aren't looking to pay for him, then maybe that's a big reason why he maybe think, right, City's still showing trust in me. I'm going to stay with you guys.
Too, Elliot. Madrid don't mind getting an older midfield on a free anyway, so they probably still get a few good years out of him, even if they got him for free when he's 33, 34 years of age anyway.
It's a great point, man.
Yeah, it's the league. I think you look at the amount of game time that a lot of players there do. That they seem to have a lot more longevity in playing their careers in A-League than what they do in the Premier League. And Rodri said that in that interview that we'd rather not talk about now. But you're right, Governor.
Just dropped everything. Sorry.
Mate.
It was my fault.
You look at some of the players. You look at some of the players, like some of the appearances have had, like, you know, like I think it was that Jaspas or something who plays at Celta Vigo or something. He's coming up to like 600 games or something. Like some of the records that they have in La Liga, like the longevity that they have there is remarkable. So maybe Rodri was right in a way about something about saying that look, Premier League takes a bit more of a toll on your body. So maybe in the future he might play La Liga.
Sorry, pardon my bad. People, by the way, I've got the feedback and I'll take heed of it. My apologies. People know what I mean by the feedback. This is why I'm on this Nico G. Not that I want him to be sold, but if he does stay, Rodri, and you've got O'Reilly, and you've got Reinders, and you go and buy an Anderson or Wharton or whoever, it's going to sound really bad, this, but Nico G's kind of surplus to requirements a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you got too much of a good thing.
Yeah, and it's not just Nico G. I look at Nico G's agent is the guy we all know.
Jorge Mendes.
He's going to move he's not going to have his clients sat there doing nothing.
It is Jorge Mendes, isn't it?
Yeah, Jorge Mendes is not going to have Nico G sat on the bench much longer. He's going to be like, let's go.
Yep.
And by the way, I know everyone keeps saying, well, he's got a contract, but as exactly what Pep said, and the City have always said, if you are unhappy, you can go.
Yeah.
So it's not that I want Nico G to go. I just don't think. It sounds awful, this, but I think it is what it is on the tin. Is Rodri's backup? If Rodri stays, yeah,
that's it in a nutshell, mate. Absolutely.
And that's sad for Nico J. It's sad for Mamouche, by the way.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, go. We just about.
Just about hear me?
Huh?
Yeah, you in a tunnel.
It's a bit...
Yeah, I'm going to take the headphones off. But what you're saying there, Martin, though,
No, Governor, put the pillow behind your head.
any of them players,
It's a bit muffled, mate. Yeah.
then another player comes in.
Is he listening to us back? What?
Don't know.
Is he on the Etihad PA there?
I think he's on the Etihad Wi-Fi.
How's that?
That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
You're all good.
Think you were connected to the city Wi-Fi?
He's sitting in the right part of the ground.
Nah, you know you're saying about Nico G. There's no room for him, but any of these players that go off form is back in again. It's only a matter of these players playing well. They've got to keep playing well, otherwise you're out.
But do you think that counts for Rodri, though, Governor?
It's a bad day for Rodri.
Well,
as good as most midfielders, bad.
Still a
really
big
good
question,
days. Yeah.
innit? It's ifs and buts, innit? It's still a big question.
Unfortunately, Nico G is exactly what Pep said. He's Rodri's backup.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, but if the new signings come in, he's not, is he?
That's what I mean. Yeah. And like Archer said,
The
he's
problem
not
is Nico G doesn't have the tag
either.
of being a versatile player, so you can't utilize him in other positions. He's kind of a one-trick pony.
The thing is, he's not played bad when he's played. That's the thing.
No, I agree.
Mm.
So, it's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely not like a
Right.
Calvin Phillips situation, obviously, yeah, because he's performed when we've asked him to.
LB said something. He's been saying this for about a year, and I totally agree with him. It's much harder to buy backup than it is to buy a first-team player.
Absolutely.
Oh, we've said that on shows many times, mate, when it comes to goalkeepers, to say it's always a very niche. It's very difficult to try and fill the gaps in terms of making them understand that, no, you're not going to play every week. But then you still got to be good enough to call upon every once, maybe once a month, if you're lucky.
Unfortunately, Rodri's Rodri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete asked Martin, he says, how many players do you think will leave in the summer? What happens with Juma and Race? I think Vitor Hayes is, for me, I think Vitor Hayes comes back.
I think he goes on loan.
Well, you think one more? If he does, well, what? Just go to Girona again, or what?
What, he comes back as fifth choice centre back? Is he gonna be happy with that?
Well, depth usually is about 5 centre backs, isn't it? I mean, if Ake goes, I think Vitor Hayes definitely comes in, and we're pretty much sold on. We're pretty much all convinced now.
Do we usually get any pre-season games in when it's a World Cup year?
If we do,
but
do you know what I mean? Because they'll bring him back.
There'll be like 2 games. Will be all academy.
He might play in pre-season games, and then see how he goes from that.
Although he got called up for the Brazil national squad too, so if he doesn't play a lot for Brazil in that tournament, then I would see him probably play the preseason, because I think that's the big thing too. It's like, it's one thing if they go to the World Cup, it's how many minutes they get when they're in the World Cup too. That'll be a big.
Well, think of it this way: is I look at this depth. Mark Gay, he wants to be playing. Gavardio, he's going to want to play. Diaz, he's going to want to play. Yeah, Kushnerov. What are you hearing at?
Diaz, Gavardio.
This may be a little bit of a left field one, but I fear for Ruben Diaz.
I do.
Yeah, I'll back that.
Where's that come from?
The injuries, Martin. Look at his last injury record
I
in the
hear
last
that,
3-4 years.
hear
It's
that.
ringing to me. It's ringing to me. I'm going to throw it out there. Vincent Kompany, end of his City career. And Ruben Diaz is nowhere near that age.
See, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird
It's
one.
the same
Elliot, too,
injuries,
because-
Pat. It's the same injuries, Pat. Something's not
But
right.
Elliot, Vincent
And
Kompany's last 3 or 4 years, his injury history was a lot better than what it was 3 or 4 years
But why was that?
previously.
Why you look at the games what he played though, Pat? He played very few games that season compared to the seasons previous to that.
Yeah, because but see, that's the thing. I just go back to the Mancini Pellegrini years where it was just like you played a handful of games and then he'd be out for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
It did seem to pick up a lot more consistency when Pep came in.
This is my concern with Diaz, is where I like to settle back four for like at some point in the season to go, right, this is going to be a back four and this is what we're going to go with. Like the treble season when we went from Forest, after the Forest game, it was just, right, that is a settle back four centre-backs. Akanji at right back, Aki at left back, obviously Diaz and Stones at centre half, and I like that, and I like the 4 in a row season. At the 4 in a row season when we sort of went with a settle back four towards the end as well. But I am getting to the point now. I've tried not saying much about it, but I am starting to fear with Ruben Diaz's injury records.
Yeah, I apologise for being late, by the way. But
no, you're right, mate. Good to have you on.
Is that a £35 fine or is that a £45 fine?
You know, like everyone in the chat saying goodbye. So what are you doing with ignoring
No
that?
public holiday. No public holiday loading.
Now you just said, Elliot, Nico Riley's been moved to left back recently. You moved Gavardio to left back. What you doing with ignoring O'Reilly?
It's down. It's going to have to be. If this is Pep especially as well, if he sees out his end of his contract, which I pray he does, if this is going to be the case next season, I think it needs to be a season where he goes, right, you know what, I'm going to have a very, very good squad who can come in and play and they can do a job. And I think he just goes, I think Pep maybe thinks, I think he maybe just goes, you know what, I'm just going to absolute go for it here. I'm going to have world-class players sat on the bench and I'm just going to just go mental and just go for it one last time, because I don't think Pep's obviously not going to be. Well, he's not going to be bothered, but it's not going to be his issue come this following season when he's then got to decide what players go, what players stay. I can see a situation like that where maybe the club just go, you know what, let's just do it with Pep one last year, give him this squad what he needs, keep these players he wants to keep, and then deal with the consequences after that.
With Diaz,
me.
You can't knock his leadership, but for me, Gay is just as quick as Diaz, but
Gay is a better player, Governor.
Gay is a better baller. He's a better footballer.
Gay's a better player. Yeah, he is.
I don't get this. I think Diaz has had a great season. I don't get this Diaz stuff.
He has.
Yes, he has. But why is he not playing?
This the other day on Twitter, they went, "Where's all this Diaz hate come from?"
But I just
come on then. So Martin. So come on then. I'm not disagreeing with that comment. But why is Ruben Diaz not in the team now?
Because he's injured.
Right. Why did Ruben Diaz not in the team 3 months ago?
He was injured.
Right. Why was Ruben Diaz not in the team?
No, I know. Right. I know people call it rotation.
We can't just keep going. We can't just keep going on to great defender. He's a great defender because if that's the case,
we can't keep going. This is my point. Everyone goes rotate. When we rotate, people moan. When we don't rotate,
that's when inconsistency creeps in.
When Guardiola comes back fit, he's going to get pushed back even more.
Yeah,
he has. For me.
My main issue is, well, it's not an issue, sorry, let me rephrase that. My thing is at the minute is, and I've sort of kept back on this in the last 2-3 weeks as well. For me, these 2 players will have to be guaranteed starters at this minute in time. One of them's Kushinov, and the next one's Cherky. So the problem is, what I'm saying is, you can also use the Cherky point as well, Martin, for the likes of Mamouche, for the likes of Reinders, for the likes of Foden, because he's got the same issue, as I believe, as what Ruben Diaz might have.
Same question.
So what, Ruben Diaz is Kushinov and Cherky guaranteed starters for 70 games next season then?
I would.
And then Haaland is, and then Rodri is. Well, why would anyone sign for Manchester City then?
No, because obviously you've got the other games, like you. Obviously, they're not. If Rodri plays against Madrid, if Rodri plays against. No. What I'm saying is, if Rodri comes in to play against Madrid on the Wednesday, and then we play Millwall at home on the Saturday, if Millwall to get promoted, Rodri isn't going to start against Millwall.
We say that, Elliot, but he tends to do.
Well, this is where it needs to probably change. This is maybe where the fans have got a point.
Well, you just said you have to keep. But 2 minutes ago, you said, "Screw it, play your strongest team and go for it."
No. I meant the squad. I meant the squad. So like the squad to like the depth on the bench. I think Pep will go right. Just have a strong squad. So ignore it. Who you think? Oh, maybe how's he going to play? Just keep him. Just. If we need him, if we need to go to that situation, we'll go to ignore it. Because I think after this, well, it's just known, innit? If Pep doesn't sign a new contract, he's gone next season. So the point is, Pep isn't going to sit there and go, oh, I got in 2029, what are we going to do with this squad? Because he's not going to be here to worry about that.
Just for me, I think, I keep saying it, it's my opinion. I think there's a lot of recency bias going on. I think people
in what context do you mean by that?
In context, I'd be like the Trafford. Listen, Kushner's been excellent, but if you think Kushner's going to play every single game next year, he's not.
He's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. I know he's not going to. But I'm saying, for me,
he's not coming here to sit on a bench.
What we mean is he's going to be a regular. You know,
but we don't know he will be.
Yeah.
We also knew because he was going to be regular. He's not touched the pitch for 7 games.
He should be on form. If you're on form,
he's not as good as Rodri, Governor.
No, I mean, if Rodri's on form, he's going to be in, isn't he?
This is going to sound really awful. We are not Make-A-Wish FC. We're not here to give everyone a go. We're Manchester City Football Club. We're not here to give everyone a go to keep them happy.
We play players on form.
Well, this is my point I was going to get to now, and we said this on the Macca and I were talking about this on the show before everybody jumped in. Is remember, and Martin, you'll agree with me because we always say this every season. When we get to like February, March, we start challenging for whatever trophies we have. Mm-hmm. We basically have that almost fixed starting 11, maybe a starting 13 or 14 that are just used as that 3-day rotation, and they're usually the ones because one, they're in form, and the one they're the most versatile players. Yeah. They can play multiple positions. After Arsenal, after Liverpool this season, are we pretty close now to having our fixed 11 for the rest of the season? Like that lineup that you saw, given the fact that obviously he wasn't in against Arsenal because of the stupid rule of the EFL, and then he was in for the match against Liverpool, which I think was the right decision. I think most people would agree that was probably the best back four we could have had against Liverpool, pending if, Guardiola wasn't injured. But are we pretty close to saying that lineup that we saw against Liverpool, give or take, and that lineup we had against Arsenal is pretty much what we're going to see for the remainder of the season?
Well, after the FA Cup, it's going to be Donnarumma all the way.
Yeah, of course, Donnarumma, so I didn't factor that in as well. But if we take goalkeepers out of the equation, if you're looking at who our defenders have been for the last 2 games and the midfield as well too, are we looking at this is probably going to be close to our lockdown starting 11 between now and May.
Barring injuries, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot. Listen, and like I said, I think Kushner's fabulous. I think he's going to be a superstar of a footballer. But he's only played 855 minutes in the Premier League this year.
But when someone's playing like that, man, you cannot play him, can you?
But he didn't. But he dropped Nico G for Rodra.
So this is the point then, Martin. So this is where it's wrong. So this is where when fans call Pep out, this is why they do it, because they have a point on it. You cannot
don't
watch
ask Rodri to sign a contract.
You cannot watch. No, I'm not about Rodri. I'm about Kushner. You can't watch Kushner the last 2-3 games, then go, "Oh, do you know what, Chelsea? I think we might go Aki and Ray at centre half and drop Kushner." What?
Right,
would
you drop Donnarumma for Sunday?
I wouldn't, but if Trafford was to start, I'd understand it.
Right. So, because I'm using one of your favourite boys here against you now, Elliot. You know what I mean, right?
This is going to be Mahrez or something, no doubt.
Donnarumma, does he deserve sat on the bench the rest of the season the way Trafford's in form?
If Trafford deserves to play, then yes. And I've stood by that even in the treble season. I said the exact same thing.
Really, that means Donnarumma leaves in the summer?
Yeah, so be it. so be it. So be it. I said that about Haaland. I can't flip flop on that. So I said it about Haaland. If
That's
Haaland's-
what I was checking
if
whether you were
if
going to
Haaland-
flip.
if Haaland
I know you
wants
would.
to, yeah,
I wouldn't mind
yeah.
that. I think if Donnarumma was to go in the summer, I wouldn't mind that at all.
Can you name me another manager that does this? Name me another manager that plays and just drops everyone.
What
Because
do you
I
mean,
was having a
drops
look at the stats, no one does this.
Oh,
What people say is
he's
no
not-
one does what
Martin,
you're all asking to
he's
be
not-
done.
Martin, he's not dropping him. He's overthinking.
No, stop, no. Right, as fans, we're saying he doesn't drop them. So the plays the dropped, Governor. They're not looking
No,
at
true,
resting.
but he just overthinks it. It's not that's what it is.
If you, like I said earlier on, players look at resting as 20 minutes in a game at the end. That's their rest. I always remember Rodri, and you remember this, Elliot. We played West Ham away back at one of the first games last season, and Rodri come back off his was it his hamstring, Elliot, against in the Euros. When was it? We come off the hamstring, and he was on the bench at West Ham, and he didn't come on. I got a message an hour later. They went, Rodri's fuming. He went, why? He went, he didn't get on the pitch. That's how players see it. People think these players are just happy. So, Foden, not happy at the minute. Nico G, not happy at the minute. Mamouche, not happy at the minute. Oscar Bob left in January because he was on the bench.
I agree, Martin, with what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying.
That's the problem.
If the team and the squad are on the same page, they know why they're getting took off. If they're all on the same page, they know what's happening. We've had this running battle all season about rotation. Like the players, if some of them players are on their ass and Pep sees it, it'll bring them off. That's not having a go at them. The squad are on the same page all the way through. And that's how you win a title.
But you've just seen it with Arsenal. Arsenal have rotated everyone. They've got beat twice.
They're doing the same.
Exactly.
Arteta's guilty.
And they've got their asses smacked twice.
He's running them into the ground. He's not
No. The Arsenal fans are saying the opposite at the minute, Governor. They're saying he's made too many changes.
Right.
So the way you look at it is actually he's made the changes at the wrong time because
they're saying
he's overplayed Saka, he's overplayed Rice, and now it's like, oh shit, I better rotate him, and then it's like, hang on, and then all these players are like, okay, fine, you rotated me, but
I mean,
I'm coming in cold. They're playing the
for
same sort of form they would in back in August, September.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? Or would you play the best? Like it's that catch-22, isn't it? You can't leave your best players at home. You're playing a championship.
No, understood, Governor,
even
but
though
I
they
mean,
play well.
he has overplayed Saka and Declan Rice so much in the last
I don't
few
get
years.
this.
Like, that's excessive. It's, yeah.
Disaster.
The question needs to be the question needs to be asked is why did we win a treble? That's what probably needs to be asked as to
because we kept the same 11 for every single game nearly.
Going back to what I just said, because I think we're close to our fixed 11 now till the end of the season.
And you get lucky with injuries. You get lucky.
But what I'm saying as well, Governor, is as much as I agree with Martin's and Pat's point is the other thing to that is, and Kyle Walker touched on this in the interview what he did the other week with Gary Neville, the players on the bench come in and then they impact the game. So that were Mahrez, or that were Alvarez. So what I'm saying to you is, I'm saying to you, Martin, is whether it's right or wrong, I believe next season, if Pep is still our manager, he will look at the treble season and go, right, you know what worked? Right, having Riyad Mahrez on the bench. I know you're not going to have another Mahrez. I'm not an idiot. I get that. There's not another Mahrez out there. I get there's probably never going to be an Alvarez out there for the price of what we got him for. I get all that. But I think Pep's going to have to sit there and go, right, you know what? Like, let's look at this and let's maybe just go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to have not a big squad, but I'm going to have a squad where it's got loads of quality in it. If them players need to come on, they need to impact the game, then so be it. You'll go Viana can sort out the season after when I'm not here. That's not my problem. And Pep probably deserves that to happen to him, to be fair, for what he's done for us. I'm with Governor on the situation where if he's taking players out and they don't deserve to be dropped, then we don't win a game. Sorry, but questions do need to be asked at Pep. How much we love him or not.
It comes down to man management.
So when he rested everyone against Leverkusen, that was too many changes on.
No, that was just stupid. I mean, we'll play players.
That was excessive.
We never play players who had played there.
It was a madness.
Yeah, but we never played players who had played there. We never played players who we played there before. Like when did Rico Lewis play before the Leverkusen game? Was it Forest in the FA Cup the season before?
No, he played earlier on in the season.
Wouldn't that Leverkusen game be an exception to the rule? Because that was pretty excessive, those changes.
Well, it was just stupid, wasn't it? I mean, it was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't understand why he needed to make that many.
This is what I mean.
I get it.
How many changes are too many changes? This is the problem with people.
But the squad isn't good enough, is it? But the squad isn't good enough, is it? That's the other side of it. Like, Kovacic isn't.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree.
So that's the other side of it. That's the.
You know yourself. We were all begging for a shot-stopping goalie. Everyone wasn't bothered about the kicking. Now everyone wants to go back to the kicking now, and Donnarumma's crap, even though he's kept the second most clean sheets, and he's brought a unity to the back line. That
Donnarumma in crap. So whoever's saying that's.
I mean, I don't know where this narrative's hit from, because he made a mistake. Him and Nico Riley both made.
It's no different to any other comparisons we've had between two similar players for years now. You know, the second Doku came to this club, and hit his stride in a few matches, it was the anti-Grealish agenda.
Yeah.
It just happened.
People hated Trafford at the start of the season. Why we signed this guy from Burnley?
Yeah.
To give Alan his due, Alan was on his own in August when we signed Trafford.
He was, yeah.
And now everyone's turned on Donnarumma, and it's like they turned on Haaland. The trouble is, I'm sorry, it's recency bias, and that's the way football.
Yeah.
YouTube has gone into recency bias. You see it with Salah. Salah's crap. He's been one of the greatest players to grace the Premier League.
Yeah.
And people are talking about him like he's some wasteman now.
So by that, Trafford.
But that's the end product. Like Salah is a prime example. That's an end product of keeping a player too long.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Possibly, yeah.
And this is what could happen with Bernardo. So I'm glad, you know.
Pav's put here, and Elliot's going to go back in a minute. Second most clean sheets for Robert Sanchez. Right, I can name you games where if it wasn't for Donnarumma, Man United away, we get beat 7-0 if it isn't for Donnarumma.
True.
Yep.
Anfield away, Donnarumma wins us the game.
Yep.
I can go. We can go through game.
Brentford away. Brentford
away makes the one-on-one save. That makes us win the game 1-0. We can go. People have forgotten everything about Donnarumma. And I'm sorry, it's recency bias bullshit.
I just hope both stay, and it keeps both sides of the.
But Martin, that's Nobbins' point. Just because Nobbins says it doesn't mean it's correct. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
And Martin, the way of the world is Trafford.
If we lose 7-0 and 1-0, it's still the same points. Then I'm sorry, you are crap at your job, then Spartacus. If that's how you're looking at it from a football analytical point of view, then sorry, that's garbage. Look, the Brentford away is Thiago messing up. Oh my God.
So,
just say you've got an agenda. Just say agenda without saying agenda.
By definition, mate, Trafford's 2 or 3 mistakes away from a massive pile-on as well. So come on, innit?
Yeah,
it's mental. It's absolutely
what happens if Trafford has a howler like he did at the start of the season against Spurs between now and the end of the season? He's going to get thrown straight on the back burner again. Yep.
Exactly that. And there's your entitlement.
The like to Martin Marsh is fickle. Fickle. I'll say it. I don't care. You're fickle. So what have you done for me lately? And I don't agree with it. I think it's serious. We say, you know, I won't say all, but our online fan base, we used to say we don't act like Arsenal, we don't act like Liverpool, we don't act like Man United fans. You are doing it with the way you're talking about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's agenda-driven garbage. And not only that, it's a boring conversation because Donnarumma's starting at Chelsea on Sunday. Deal with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the way I look at it too with Donnarumma is, the top keepers in the world find their best form at the time of the season when it matters. And you look at what Donnarumma did, especially in the knockouts for PSG last season. What's not to say he won't go ahead and do the same thing now for these last 10 or so games we've got.
That's how bad he is. Won a treble.
Yeah.
He won a treble last year for PSG. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
People got short memories.
Right. I just find it totally crap. And listen, the Diaz thing, I hear it a little bit with the injuries that I do it. I just, no, I'm not going to do this opinion bit because abuse is not opinion, George. Abuse is not opinions. And making things up is not opinions, George. So I will call it out. And one thing we're going to do, we've done on this channel is opinion. Just because it's your opinion, don't make it right. Opinions can be wrong. I can say stuff that's wrong, George. Just because it's an opinion, make it right.
It's not our decision. It's Pep's decision to make.
So if someone is racist, it's their opinion. Does that make it right? No, it doesn't. Come on. Can't be doing this. It's their opinion. So what?
That's the way it is. He's a cup keeper, Trafford, and Don's the league keeper. Like that's the way it is. Barring injuries.
Trafford is an excellent goaler.
Yeah, both.
No doubt about it. He's an excellent goaler, but I'm sorry, he's not on Donnarumma's level.
This is what happens when you buy the best.
It's a terrible problem to have.
You have a good head.
If you take a step back from the argument, you can actually go and look and say, holy shit, we've probably got the best goalkeeping depth in in world football.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
What if we were back halfway through the season right now? Donnarumma goes down for 3 months.
Yeah,
everybody's going to be fine with having Trafford in.
And the best English keeper in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
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 So what do you want? What these people want?
Yeah, true.
It's a funny old game, Saint. It's a funny old game.
Yeah. And we're funnier than most, so yeah.
Why don't we throw better now in there? Hey.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
It's just not the same without Scott Carson there.
What they like.
And if only.
Robbed us so many Ballon d'Ors. Yeah. It's look, I think we'll wrap up in a few minutes anyway, because it is getting a little bit past our bedtimes. Would you say, Macca, Governor?
Can we not do Donnarumma Trafford anymore? Please, can we just move on from that? I'm
yeah,
bored.
right. We'll wrap up in a few minutes, but yeah, if there's something, I don't know.
No, I don't mean you. I just mean I'm not going to do Donnarumma Trafford anymore. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it anymore.
It's only 4 programs on the bounce, mate, isn't it?
I'm bored of doing it. It's like the Doku Grealish debate version all over again. But that doesn't help. These are the committee. We lose to Donnarumma. We lose to Chelsea with Donnarumma.
Jesus Christ!
You just hope none of them do it by though.
That causes problems, Martin Mash. That causes problems. But,
so if you lose, it's nothing to do with the players on the pitch as well.
Only goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Martin, we have high standard. Oh my God.
Predictions for Sunday, Saturday? Sunday.
Ash makes a great point. I have an opinion that Mo Salah is a fraud and not a Prem great. Doesn't mean no one can challenge me on it. Exactly. That's my whole point.
3-0.
Anyone can have an opinion.
Do you want my take on Mo Salah? Is great player, fantastic player, one of the greatest Prem's ever seen. But a lot of his stats, a lot of his goals and assists, I think a lot of them aren't there unless he had Firmino and Sadio Mane next to him.
Very true.
Because they were so crucial to his success. They were so crucial to the numbers that he had.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think Mo Salah's been one of the greatest in the Premier League.
Oh, don't get me wrong too, but you have to put Mane and Firmino's contribution in there too. Huge contributing factors to his success.
I think Mo Salah has been one of the greatest Premier League players ever seen.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
I'd agree.
I think he's up there with Henry. I mean, I think it's very hard to do a number 1, 2, and 3 in the Premier League great because, I mean, my biggest thing is what you're classing Salah as, a winger or a striker. What is it? I don't know.
Do you think his nose got pushed out this season with Ekitike? I know Isaac didn't actually play any games really, but do you think his nose got pushed out because of the
I think so, Governor. I felt like it was kind of similar situation. Well, I mean, you had Ekitike and Isaac as well, and I think it was kind of similar to going back to like that season when they signed Darwin Núñez, where he seemed to be forced to play back a bit deeper, and Klopp just wasn't able to utilize him anywhere near as much as he did back in the Firmino and
he was lucky
Mane
with it,
era
it
when they were at their absolute peak. So I feel like maybe the Isak and Ekitike situation did a similar thing to like what Núñez did a few seasons prior, and I think it's really hurt because he's not able to play that natural game that that he was able to play under Klopp.
Kathy's got a good point though. His game went down after he got his hair cut, a bit like Samson.
That's the strength.
Yeah, Nico O'Reilly. I know you're watching the show. Do not trim your mop, okay? We need to have Nico O'Reilly continue to look like a broccoli.
Yeah.
So
He's a nice sort to watch. Salah's not a nice sort to watch.
He gave a few of us some PTSD over the years, but
I never liked it when he got that ball. That's it for me.
Yeah.
I never liked it when he got that ball.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going for. I'm
Sorry, I was just going to say, Marco, it's funny thing. Kevin's gone, Salah's gone. We're only probably about 3 to 5 years away from, these players sitting down and talking about playing in this era, and yet there's big parts of it still feel like it only happened yesterday.
Tell you what, mate, time moves on, eh? Time moves on.
Yeah.
Hey, my favourite part of the week this week, I seen on X, someone's done a cracking statue of Bernardo, proper like the statues of Vincent up there at the ground, but obviously with his coffee cup during the
I saw that one. Yeah, I was doing the rounds.
That's a beauty. If we can just do that, that'd make it for me. That'd tell me the club is listening to the fans.
I've said if they do it, they've got to put it at the away end, so the scouts should see that every year.
Can you imagine? It's a
Sorry, can I make this very clear because I'm getting hammered in the comments and that's fine. My thing with the Donnarumma stuff is fine. You can have a discussion and a tactical.
You wanted to bloody finish it.
No, it's what I said.
In closing,
people are now abusing Donnarumma.
Yeah.
That's what is not right here. They're now saying he's just crap. No, I'm sorry, that is just a load of crap. That is a poor goal there. And he's blamed for him. He was the blame for Italy. What? No, he wasn't. Watch the game. No, he wasn't.
That's why they went out.
Yeah, and have been for a long time.
It's garbage. It's all. That's why everyone left the Italian FA. They've all bloody resigned. You can't go Donnarumma. At the moment, it's like it rains. Donnarumma gets at fault. I remember after the Tottenham game and after other than else. So Trafford got dogs abuse, and I didn't agree with Trafford getting dogs abuse.
Yep.
And that's what I don't like at the minute. A player makes a mistake and they get dogs abuse. It's wrong. Rodri.
Only human.
Some people think abuse is criticism. And there's a big difference between criticism and abuse. And I know for a fact, all the defenders love Donnarumma. They love him. And it is what it is. Is Trafford a good goalie? 100%. Will I be sad to see him go if he does leave? Yes. But it's not Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer, for me, has had one good season at Chelsea and done nothing since.
Yeah. Yeah, and fingers crossed he won't do anything in the FA Cup.
So it's crazy, and the thing is, you know, he gets Donnarumma gets standing ovation in the stadium.
Yeah. Clean sheet against Chelsea, mate. That'll do us.
Yeah. 3-0.
You know, it is what it is. But listen, I'm excited for it. Cup double daddy. Cup double daddy. Can I say that? Cup double daddy.
Oh, look, if Arsenal drop points against Bournemouth, mate, that'll change.
Oh, mate, there'll be no holding us.
That'll change the T word in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's to create. I think Trafford's got better, yes. I think he's got better. I've still got Donnarumma. I think the problem is you've bought 2 good goalies. And unfortunately, there has to be a number 1, there has to be a number 2. It's not like anywhere else on the pitch where you can rotate 2 or 3.
That's it.
You know, number 1 and a number. We used to have this debate over our take with Edison.
The problem is we haven't got a 1 and a 2. We've got a 1A and a 1B.
Yeah.
And a 1B is good enough to play every week.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I agree with that.
Right,
I think it's shortened. I think people were begging to not play pet ball. They want to go long ball transition. Now everyone wants to go back to pet ball again.
Yeah.
So I don't want to wear pet ball's boring.
No. Yeah. Or we take note of the date now and see how long it takes before we demand treble control again. Yeah.
1,000 passes to nowhere.
It's all about results now, mate. All about results.
Exactly, guys. Well, anyway, I think we'll wrap it up anyway because it is getting a bit past our bedtime this part of the world. Martin, what's the go for the rest of the week?
Tonight, 8 p.m. we're back with Oil Brothers. Tonight, 8 p.m., where we will not be talking Donnarumma and Trafford.
Not for the first 10 minutes, anyway.
Yeah. We won't be talking now.
Oh, you're joking.
Also, Thursday night, we'll be back with Thursday night chat. Wednesday, Stateside Blues. There is no 90 minutes with Tone or Steve this week. We've had to postpone it again. Not my fault. Tone's gone on holiday. Which Pat can have heard because he's in the group chat sending us photos of his lovely. Looks like the French Riviera, wherever he's at the minute.
Yeah. And Rich is out camping with the family too.
Rich has gone camping.
Yep. Because it's school holidays out here right now. Yeah.
I'll speak about Ozzy when I've spoke to him. But Ozzy's fine. Ozzy will be back hopefully Thursday. So yeah, Thursday night chat, Stateside. And then on Sunday is this. The watch along with me and Tone.
Oh.
Not the best kick-off time, I think, over here, is it, Macca, Gov?
What are we? 3:30?
I thought it was 1:30.
1:30.
I forgot myself.
Yeah, you might be right. 1:30.
1:30.
Okay.
Yeah, 1:30 on a Monday. Yeah, that's.
Was you? Did you watch it at home or did you go to the Star Bar for the Liverpool game?
Oh, we went to our little Japanese bar up at Crow's Nest on the north side of the bridge.
Because I've seen the video.
Because I think we told you, so we share with Liverpool at our
Star
party.
Bar. Yeah. Cheers on a Liverpool game. They get priority, and it is rammed. I think I might have told you. I went to there. I was staying in the city when they were playing West Ham last year, and they were going to win the league or nearly win the league. And 5 minutes before the end, I went into cheers, and there's probably 500 Liverpool fans. It was like a wake because I think West Ham had. What are they doing? West Ham had equalised. So cheers is good except when Liverpool are playing.
Yeah, I've seen the video. It was hammered.
So it clears out nearly as quickly as the Etihad though when they lose though. Yeah. So I would like to have been there really. Oi! That's the way to end the show, mate. 4 in a row was boring.
Spot on, Mason. Spot on. By the way, yeah, Stateside is on Wednesday. Oh, someone said it. Yeah, Stateside's on as well.
All right, easy does it. Thank you,
Good on you,
everybody.
boys.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being a part of the show. Of course, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate any contributions to the channel as well. Big up to everybody in the chat. Your opinions, your thoughts on everything is much appreciated. Of course, we'll look forward to bringing more shows.
It can
this
be
week.
challenged. It can be challenged, and opinions
Yes.
can be challenged.
Yep.
Vehemently.
We come here, but we also come here for respectful conversation as well, and banter. Until then, we look forward to what we got what we got to show for the rest of the week. We look forward to the weekend. Hopefully, we can get the result we need against Chelsea. Hopefully, we get some favourable results elsewhere. Some of us are a bit more optimistic than others, but remains to be seen. Plenty more to play for. We've already got one trophy in the bag. Let's go and get a few more. But until then, I'm Pat.
A few more.
Macca, Governor, Martin.
Good on you, boys.
Up the Blues.
Yeah.
See you, Martin.
I'm quietly more optimistic. Just say what you want to say.
You saying a treble?
No, I didn't say anything.
You saying a treble?
Not before you did.
Don't jinx it.
Good night, everyone. Up
See
the
you,
Blues.
mate.
Come on, City.